into brutal scenes, screams of pain, chaos machine, kick out crew, we're ready for the fight, breaking bones, taking it to the height. In the face of darkness, we rise as one. With every blow, our spirit won't be undone. KOC is here, never back down. Bring the pain, you better feel our crowd. Down jobs on kicking it into gear, bodies collide, the pain is crystal clear. Kick out into the battle's just begun. We'll fight till the end, we won't be undone.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of your show. That's right, it's the Kickout Crew. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Want to thank everybody for the feedback on last week's episode. Want to give a special shout out to Cabana Man Dan and Rolando Perez for keeping it cordial on our show and not really getting into it too much, But as we all know, that rivalry's definitely got some legs, and I can't wait to see where it goes. That being said, we are the Kickout Crew, and you can follow us on all of your social media, and you can watch us on Premier's YouTube channel. Leave your likes, questions, comments, and all that jazz on our social media. And we have a segment of listener questions. We'll get you on your show. But I want to welcome everybody to this week's episode. Hope everybody had a good week. And I guess that's enough of me doing this intro. And it's time to get this ball rolling. So, Brad, what you got for us?
So again, not a lot this week. I'm going to say three short things, okay? One, if you are going to work on your yard, right? I can appreciate people that put a lot of effort into their front yard. That makes it look nice with flowers and everything like that. Devyn's already here. Devyn, you're already here. It is not 8:30, pal. What if we would have been waiting for you at 8:30? Now you'd have just been sitting there doing nothing for 20 minutes. Thanks a lot, Devyn. Thanks a lot.
I guess I could have waited 20 more
Hey,
minutes.
Devyn,
Sorry, Brad.
what does DVD stand for?
Death Valley Driver.
Oh, there it is. Thanks. I took it as something you put into a DVD player, maybe. I don't know. What do I know? Anyway, Devyn, thanks.
Fair.
Glad to have you here.
Oh,
So,
glad to be here.
so I don't have a perfect yard in any way. I do what I can. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm walking my dog, and I walk by these people's in the neighborhood's yard, and they have this wheelbarrow in the garden. Now that's a kind of a cool thing because they're putting the flowers in it and everything like that. Awesome. So I'm like, boy, that took a lot of time. But then I look around it, completely covered in weeds everywhere else. So you've made this effort to put this wheelbarrow, to decorate this wheelbarrow, and then everything else around it looks like shit. Either do it or don't do it. No in between, okay? If you don't want a good yard, don't have a good yard. But none of this half-assed stuff. All this tells me is that you wanted to do something and you half-assed it and you stopped. All right? All or none. Okay? That's it. Now, second thing is, I don't know if Adam's going to talk about this or not, but listen, one pay-per-view or PLE per weekend, please. Like I said, I'm only one man. I do not have 9 hours to spare. Okay? And that's exactly what it was. About 9 hours. You have, and I know as this drops, we're always a week behind, but you had the King and the Queen of the Ring, and you had Double or Nothing. That is way, way too much. Not to mention you want to throw Collision in there. A good friend of mine met him, said, when the fuck was that on? How the hell am I supposed to watch that? I'm not even halfway through the WWE pay-per-view yet. Seriously. As you guys know, last week, my daughter was in that accident. So again, everything's fine. We're still waiting on everything, but I got the estimate from the insurance company. $10,750 in damage. They have not deemed this a total loss yet. It is a Chevy Trax. It's worth somewhere between $15,000 and $16,000 to $17,000 retail. Like if you sold it to someone, not wholesale. So I'm not sure what they're doing, but that seems excessive. $10,750 worth of damage. Now a new Trax is somewhere in the neighborhood of the low to mid 20s. I'm going to go as far as to say I'm pretty sure that when the manufacturer makes a brand new Chevy Trax, like they put it together themselves, it is not $10,750. I don't think it is. So why in the hell is this door, this tire, and this mirror $10,750? I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's not $10,750. When did everything get so damn expensive? Anyway, I'm kind of hoping they fix it. I really don't want to go through the process of dealing with a dickhead salesman and have to buy a new car because that is a pain in the ass. Take it from this guy here. Let's just fix the car and move on. But again, that's what all I got this week. Devyn, thanks for coming. 20 minutes early. I'm glad you're here. Back to you, James.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just total it out. That is kind of excessive.
We don't know yet. I don't know yet.
Get like
We
two
will
used
see.
cars. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm just gonna keep it moving on, and it looks like Mike, you're up next. So were you surprised? Did you read the outline?
Do I have to read that one? Well, if I can get our great producer gonna help me out with this one a little bit, I want to play a little game with you guys.
Is it about a phone bill of health?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, as you guys know, let's get this fixed. I like, doing the camping, hunting, fishing, all that stuff. I like watching the stuff on TV. But right now there's a show called Race to Survival. What you do is on this one, you have two people and you have 40 days to go 150 miles. So you're going to be hiking some, you're going to be kayaking some, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that. And after 12 hours in each day, when that time stops, you have to stop and you have to camp out where you're at, no matter what. And there is some things you can do along this, as you're going from point A to, point B or whatever it is, to take a course off and go get some food and all this other stuff. But be the first one to finish like the first portion of the course. So the first one would say 8 miles. So when you're the first one there, some of them takes like 2 or 3 days to get there. You get more stuff that you can have for the rest of the trip. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I would like to do it. And I was trying to think, hey, who would you like to take with you? But I want to throw a twist. As you can see here, I got 10 names. I got a couple males, a couple females. So we're going to do this in a 3-way dance style. So what I'd like to ask you, if you were doing something like this, you pick one male and one female. That's on the list. As you see on the list, we have Sami Zayn, we have Dom, Austin Theory, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, and Pat McAfee. But he's a superstar. Pat McAfee's a superstar.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then we have Ivy Neal, Liv Morgan, Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox, Chelsea Green, and Tiffany Stanton on our female.
Tiffany Stanton, it is.
Is that Brett's sister?
It was a great ceremony.
Tiffany Stratton, but
Deb even came.
Whatever. I did that on purpose.
I know.
Yeah.
So you can pick one male, one female. Who would you pick to be your partners to do a course like this? And we're going to start off with Brad.
I mean, there's no way I can't pick Austin Theory. And I'm also pretty sure Ivy Nile. Like, I think that's the winning team right there. Matter of fact, I'll just sit back and watch. But I'm just saying, two top tier athletes right there.
And also too, like with these, you got different courses. So you might be rock climbing a mountain, or just a bunch of different things that they do.
Well, as far as being in shape, I don't think there's any two that are in better shape than Austin Theory and Ivy Nile. Not saying necessarily the most athletic in Ivy Nile, but definitely in shape and definitely can climb some rocks.
Yeah. All right, James, what do you think?
As much as I love Pat McAfee, I too pretty sure I'm going with Austin Theory because he's young and definitely in shape, so he'd be able to probably do pretty good in this course. On the female side, man, that's good. Not really don't really know too much about Ivy Nile and have no fucking clue who Tiffany Stanton is. Probably Brad's cousin or something. I don't know. But I don't know, man. On the female side, that's pretty good because, like you said, like who's going to be on the course with you. But I guess Ivy Nile is probably going to be my choice. And this is 12 names, by the way. You did say 10, but that's, tomato.
Same difference.
Yeah.
All right, Devin.
All right, so unlike the other two guys, I'm not going with Austin Theory, and I'm not going with Ivy Nile because those two are just way more athletic than me. So I think they're gonna smoke me and leave me in the dust. Where I'm gonna have to catch up and be like, guys, come on now. So I'm gonna go with someone a little more my size. I'm gonna say Kevin Owens. Me and him can keep the same pace with each other. We'll get through this course together. It doesn't matter if we get first as long as we survive, right? And then so I think then we'll go with Tegan Knox because I'm pretty sure she's from Australia and I don't know what she's encountered down there. She might have. I don't know. Ben Jones could help us out, our buddy.
You know that's a prison colony.
Well, I just meant
Shout
like
out.
kangaroos and stuff. But so yeah, that's my picks: Kevin Owens and Tegan Knox.
All right. Adam, what do you think?
Well, I want to go off the wall here. I want to pick Dominic Mysterio because he's going to cheat and do whatever he's got to do to win the course. And plus, when you pick Dominic, you get Rhea because Rhea comes. I mean, just
I don't know about anymore,
Might be
buddy.
an extra person.
True.
so. So he's going to do what he's got to do to cheat, steal, whatever he's got to do to win.
Just like his dad.
And I'm going to Ivy now because she's just a legit badass. I mean, there's just others to it. I mean, she won that competition, that TV show that The Rock hosted. I can't remember the name of it, but she won that shit. So I'm definitely picking Ivy now.
Titan Games.
Yeah, that's it. Titan Games.
See, now I think I'm gonna go with LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think he might have some of that backwoods style in him somewhere. I think he might be able to pull it off. And I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan because I think deep down she might be a little country girl. And she'll be able to make it. She'll be out there. She can go out there camping and build a fire or do something.
Well, you can only dream, right, Mike?
We'll have to wait and see.
No, I mean, I can't believe we're glossing over the fact that Devin said, "Oh, Austin Theory can smoke us." Everybody on this list can smoke all of us. It ain't just Austin Theory; it's all of them can smoke all of us.
Very true.
That's absolutely fair.
So, Austin Theory is just the more elite. Of
Yeah,
the
he's a
guys that
chiseled
can
one,
smoke
but other
us.
than that, yeah, they're all pretty good athletes.
They're all pretty
I
damn good
heard.
athletes that'll probably take us all out in the first 5 minutes.
Most likely. All right, y'all. Thank you. I just want to play that little game and, see
I
how
just
we
think of Tiffany as an indoor girl.
Yeah, definitely. She's gonna get her nails painted. And
That gymnastics background.
Yeah. Her going camping is written in a cabin somewhere.
Pat does have like big ass legs and stuff. That's why he was a punter and like he was a hell of a soccer player and everything. And he's training because they're doing some like charity soccer thing. I'm not really sure on all of that. So his cardio's up now. So,
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to have it.
and shout out to his show. That's where I get my shout out from. But he always says, "Be a friend and tell a friend something good. It could change their life." And I kind of stole that in a conceited way. Be a friend, tell a friend about our show. But he's always relaying a positive message. So I like Pat.
And there we have it.
There we have it.
Back to you, James.
Appreciate it, Mike. Always love these little games and all this stuff. And you know what else I love? Today's agenda. It's probably one of my favorite topics, just because it's all, you never know what you're going to get on this show. That being said, what are we getting today, Bryant?
Well, I decided to throw a little curveball at everybody and bring in a promotion that I felt probably a lot of you have never seen before. And that is, I thought we would talk about a promotion called Lucha Underground and cover a couple matches from some of the shows that they have there. And yeah, so that is today's agenda.
Perfect. So you're right, I didn't watch this, and but but whatever. Enough of that. It's time for match number 1. And what is match number 1? Oh, hell.
Oh,
It is Matanza, is that right? Matanza
Yes.
Cueto,
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
versus Mil Muertes. It is a graver consequences match for the Lucha Underground title. It is from Lucha Underground Season 2, Episode 16. And it is from the Lucha Underground Temple in Boyle Heights, California.
Beautiful. That is it. What it looks like something out of Aladdin.
It looks like I mean, obviously, it's gonna sound dumb, but definitely studio style, for sure.
It's just those gold like
Bleachers.
seat. Yeah.
Bleachers. Yeah.
Yeah, bleachers is a good word for it.
Sure is.
So because I also wanted to have fun with it, this is the inside, and there's the outside.
Oh.
There we go. Probably some
Wow,
sketchy
right,
shit
so-
goes on there in dark.
Yeah, I'm not pulling up there. That is nothing. There's nothing going on. Where's the
What the hell? It's above ground.
Boom. Waka
Is there-
waka waka.
Where's the door? I don't even. Is it just my eyesight?
You just jump through the window.
Is there a special knock and that one side just kind of opens up to like, yeah, like
Password.
yeah.
I feel like that's what this
You know
is.
what
It's
that
like
does?
knocking password, random door open, and there you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. It doesn't look that big.
Sometimes not the size, Brad. It's the action.
Motion of the ocean. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very dark.
Back alley studio stuff, I guess. But that
Where do
is
you, where do you park?
good
Don't
question.
everybody
Great
answer
question.
once.
That's a great question. No idea.
I
I
was
guess you
gonna ask, where's all the tents at?
What?
The tents, the homeless tents.
Oh,
And like a perfect
got it. Yeah, nailed it. All right.
We
I
are
don't know.
firing today,
It
boys.
just looks like a place that used to service my car, but is no longer open.
Right. Like a big foreclosed sign on the side.
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised there's actually not some like weeds and stuff surrounding. Oh, but it is California, so nothing grows there.
Boom. Except, opportunity and maybe changing of a life. That'll grow.
And you took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, I think we've done enough on this.
Thanks for the contribution, Adam.
It was taped January 10th, 2016, but it aired May 11th of 2016 at a match length of 14 minutes and 47 seconds. And there were no attendance or ratings. But Bryant, right back to you, buddy. How did we get here?
Apparently going to be a Bryant heavy episode.
Yeah, off camera. Shout
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Exactly.
Nice shirt.
Thank you. We begin season 2 of Lucha Underground with Mil Muertes controlling the Lucha Underground Championship. Dark times have fallen on the temple. Him and his main squeeze, Katrina, are kind of running everything.
Roll Tide.
Absolutely. And Dario Cueto, the owner and promoter of Lucha Underground, is trying to find a way back into his temple. He then realizes the only way in is to go and find his brother. It is during this time that during one of the episodes, they have what is called Aztec Warfare. It is a Royal Rumble style match where you can be eliminated by pinfall, submission, elimination. And it is in this match that Matanza would appear for the first time and come in and would actually claim the Lucha Underground Championship by winning the match. From there, Mil Muertes would kind of go back and try to regroup. But Katrina would realize that that Mil never got his rematch for the championship. Goes to meet Dario Cueto, being the promoter that he is, books the match. On episode 13, they have their first match. Complete, just utter chaos. A no contest immediately. Mil still wanting his match. Katrina wanting control of the temple decides to go back and pitch one more match. And they pitch grave consequences. And as Dario says, there can only be one monster in this temple. And that is how we got here.
All right, everybody just bear with me on this. This is definitely my first time watching this, knowing about it, any of it. Now, just for everybody knows, Matanza is Jeff Cobb, correct?
Correct.
All right, just so everybody knows that a lot of great wrestlers came from here, and Jeff Cobb is Matanza. So Matanza versus Mil Muertes. Oh, I am so screwed. A very quick start to the match. Two big pieces of beef in the ring. There's a coffin on the outside, but they're not calling it a coffin. They're calling them death boxes. Devyn, can anybody actually fit in those things?
Well, I mean, they're like half the size of a normal coffin. So we're gonna see.
I guess we are. James, who are the announcers?
Oh, glad you asked, and boy howdy, hope I get this right. Are we going with the Matt Striker and Vampiro?
Isn't that something? I mean, a little foreshadowing to say the least, huh?
Right.
Adam, who's the referee?
That is referee and former WWE referee Marty Elias. And I actually spoke to him right before we started recording. And and he said that I just asked him if something may stick out about this match that he might remember. He said putting the match together was the hardest part because of all the caskets and all the chaos that's going on during the match. So he said putting it together was probably the thing he remembers the most.
So, Devyn, what are the rules?
It seems like there are no rules. You throw your opponent in the death box, you close the lid, and you win.
All right. Matanza situating the death boxes. Katrina hits Matanza with a chair. Mike, are you following up like this early in the match? Are you following it up to this point? Or are you kind of just trying to get your self together here? Like, what were you thinking up to this point?
I'm really just trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
I'm right, and that's what I thought of you immediately when I was like confused. Like, yeah, I know, I know you've never seen this, and I've never seen this, and I'm like, I'm just trying to like wrap my head around it. And I'm thinking Bryant watched this every single week.
I did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Shout out. So spear from Mil Muertes to Matanza, 3 death boxes now. Power bomb onto the death box from Matanza. Mil Muertes using all of the ring at this point. Mil Muertes face first off the apron onto the death box to Matanza. Mil Muertes bringing the death box in the ring now. Crowd is really hot for this though, aren't they, James?
Yeah, there's a pretty good back and forth, I guess, going on, but when you have moves on foreign objects and shit like this, it should, I guess, liven up the crowd a little bit.
Am I saying this correctly with Dario Cueto?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, he's getting involved.
He's actually part of MLW now. They actually like brought a portion of the Lucha Aztec to MLW. So that's
you don't think I know this? You don't freaking think I know this, huh?
No, I don't think you knew it at all. No.
You don't think I go to MLW shows, know about Aztec? How about
this
you?
This is where it started from, is all this.
Did you know about that, Devyn?
So when I seen him on here, I was like, wait a minute, I think that's El Jefe from MLW, and instantly start Googling it. So yeah, that's where I recognize him.
So I said the same thing, and I'm just kidding, Adam. But believe it or not, he's a babyface right now. Like that throws me because he wasn't for a while, and then now this he's very popular with the they're out of Philly now, but he's pretty popular with that crowd there.
He did a storyline later on in Lucha Underground to where he dies, disappears, whatever. Bryant probably remember, and then his uncle, Dario Cueto's uncle, shows up and takes it over. So he's really involved in the whole thing of Lucha Underground.
Yeah, and
so it's awesome to still see him there.
That Aztec Underground thing with MLW, it's like you'll have a couple matches, then all of a sudden you'll get that on the screen, and you'll know they're coming. Like, they're very involved in that show, and you kind of don't even know what it's very different, but it's good. It's their good storytelling. So, but Matanza breaks up the because Dario getting involved. Matanza breaks it up. Then we have a 3 Amigo-ish move to Mil Muertes. Would you guys agree with that was kind of three amigo-ish?
I thought that was pretty cool. I liked it.
I just thought it was kind of like a little different, of course, but if they did three in a row like that, I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah. Spear to Mil Muertes. They keep messing with the ring though, Adam. What's going on? Like they keep looks like they're using some tools with the ring and like undoing stuff. What's going on there?
They're actually taking the bottom rope apart, using the hooks and stuff, and it's actually an easier way to get the death boxes into the ring.
So that's what's happening because I was confused. It seemed like a lot of work. Matanza hits Mil Muertes with a weapon of some sort, some steel, trying to take off Mil Muertes his mask. They want to take his mask off. Still hitting him with the weapon. Devyn, did you watch this regularly, or is this your first time like me?
Yeah, this was my first time ever. I watched the first ever episode a couple years ago, but then yeah, I just forgot to keep going because the AEW and Raw and SmackDown every week. So I just didn't keep watching.
Mil Muertes chokeslammed the Matanza. Mike, do you like the methodical big man movement in Lucha?
I mean, I like this. I thought it was pretty cool.
But it's like when you think of Lucha, you think of someone like Rey Mysterio, right? And these are
more like a cruiserweight type.
Yeah, this is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. Mil Muertes pulls out a weird glove, like a chain link glove, using it now, and it seems effective. James, tell me what you think of the ring and the canvas.
I think the canvas is pretty plain. Well, fuck, I guess that'd be, I don't know. I do like I'm kind of a red and black color scheme type of guy, which is why I love our colors a bunch. But yeah, I mean, I like it. Like, I'm not really comfortable familiar, I guess the word I'm looking for, with this or, the symbols and all the logos and everything. But I think it looks cool. I mean, it's a good atmosphere. The ring, subtle, but it says something.
It kind of reminds me of like an underground kind of fighting ring, like a canvas to me. I think it's kind of neat. Like,
and the lighting and everything really helps.
Like, you're not supposed to, right. You're not supposed to be there, right?
Yeah. like a cockfight type thing. Like, come down this which, if we remember the venue, it probably is like, hey, walk down these stairs, like, type shit.
You're right, Adam. And like an underground, I get it. It's just it's new to me, man. It's new to me.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think if y'all go back and kind of, it starts off a little slow, but about the 4th or 5th episode, I think y'all would really like it, man, because it's more than just wrestling. There's a lot of entertainment stuff in there, storyline type stuff. So I think they did really good, and I think y'all might really like it if y'all gave it a shot.
Shot to the nuts by Matanza, then a clothesline to the back. All right, now there's a lot of death box throwing, lid out of the ring, like they're throwing the death boxes around out of the ring. Like, Adam, what was the strategy here?
Well, see, that's what I didn't understand is he took the lid off the box and threw it out. And then the whole purpose is to close the lid onto the person. Put the opponent into the box, close the lid. How are you supposed to close the lid when you throw the some bitch out of the ring?
I couldn't figure it out. I thought you could answer me. All right, so the crowd gets real quiet after this. Mil Muertes put in the coffin by Matanza, can't close it. You better knock me out. Mil's hand comes through the coffin. That was kind of a hot spot, wasn't it, Devyn?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was hot. I think that I'm honestly kind of surprised that WWE's never, at least that I can remember, never done this.
Agreed.
But
so this is awesome chance. Mil Muertes hits Matanza with a ring bell. I always like a good ring bell in a match. Slap from Katrina to Dario. Now Matanza hits Katrina with the chair. Now Matanza has the stone, and this has I don't even want to get in. I don't even know if I can get into it, Bryant, but this has a ridiculous backstory. This stone, right? Do you remember what was said here?
Correct. The Death Stone is from the building that collapsed on Matanza. And when he was brought back to life by Katrina, the stone represents his power that he gained from being brought back from the dead by the building that collapsed on him.
Yeah, just
like the Undertaker's urn.
Kind of like the urn, yes.
Yeah.
And a cash match.
It's a good comparison, yeah.
Funny stuff, though. I mean, it is funny. Hell of a storytelling here. So then Matanza puts Katrina in the death box. She's buried alive. Mil Muertes dives out of the ring into Matanza. and Dario on the outside with Matanza. Mil Muertes power slam to Matanza. So, Devyn, is this something that can work today, or does it already work, or does it happen already in some sense?
Like this match itself?
Yeah,
I definitely
the
think it could
general
work.
idea, the match, like the story, all of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this was only what, less than 10 years ago. I
Yeah.
feel like something like this could definitely work if it was I don't know, some company like NWA or maybe Impact doing it for a pay-per-view. I could see them rising someone to the heights of the championship and pulling this off.
All right. Mil Muertes has Matanza in the coffin, can't close it. Matanza powerbomb on the coffin to Mil Muertes. Wrath of the God onto Mil Muertes into the coffin, and it is over, right, Mike?
You think so?
Crowd is not happy. So that's the match, guys. What did everybody think? I mean, this is obviously new to all of us, except for Adam and Bryant, and of course Devyn with his one episode. And listen. I liked it. It was just I guess I didn't know what to expect coming into it. But what did you guys think?
I
See,
think
it was crazy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Adam.
bro. It's crazy because season 1, Mil Muertes come in as a badass heel, beating everybody, and like he been like Ray Phoenix is a part of the first season. He and Mil Muertes beat the hell out of Ray Phoenix. I mean, bloodied him up, a whole big deal. And then season 2 comes around, Matanza comes around, and now Mil Muertes is a babyface. So it was awesome seeing him transition from heel to babyface. Like I said, I think if y'all gave it a shot, I think y'all might be interested. I think y'all might like it.
I don't dislike it. I don't. I don't want you to think that. It's just so new to me that I felt a little uncomfortable explaining it. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, because there's a lot of sports entertainment. Like there's a lot of that side. Like it's like a TV show / wrestling show. So
Yeah.
you kind of get a little bit of everything. So that's why it was different from anything else we watched.
Kind of like Glow, huh?
Kind of, yeah, it does that little stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Mike?
I mean, it is what it is. I guess I might be able to get into it if I watched it, but
Coming soon, we're gonna do this every week. We're gonna do. No, I'm kidding. It's a bonus episode every week. We're doing one episode. Like me and you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Devyn, you like it?
Yeah, I honestly really liked it. And the whole time I was watching this, I was like, I think I remember the El Rey network. I'm pretty sure I watched like Mad Max and stuff on that channel when I was younger. So I don't know why I didn't watch this. So I would definitely check it out if I had some more time. If I wasn't stuck in 2008 ECW right now.
Oh my gosh! Seriously, you're still doing this?
Yeah, I have 1 week left until
2008. It wasn't even a good
2009.
year. Wasn't a good
No,
year.
it sucks. It's so bad.
You can't get enough.
Kozlov's like a top heel right now. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
I think you really like it.
The Iron Sheik?
No, Vladimir Kozlov.
And James, you haven't given an opinion yet.
Well, kind of like, obviously, didn't watch it. And then when I was like, oh, okay, this is the match. And I click play on the match and I'm like, boy, can't wait for the build on this one because I don't know what the fuck is happening here. You got coffins, you got all kinds of shit going on. So I was looking forward to the build for sure. But yeah, I remember the show being on, and I think I had a couple friends in Oklahoma that watched it. And that was in my hiatus from wrestling, obviously. But it seems like a good show. I remember a lot of people watching it and talking about it, and like everybody's kind of said, a bunch of now superstars came from that show. So I think, like Adam said, I think we gave it a shot. I probably would like it.
All right, well, we got another one coming soon. So for now, back to you, James.
Well, look, one of the first big deal, one of the first big rivalries is Prince Puma, which is Ricochet versus John Morrison. That's Johnny Mundo. So they have some great matches.
Hey. Ho ho.
You got Prince Puma versus Ray Phoenix. Which Ricochet, Ray Phoenix, one of the best matches I've seen in a long ass time. So they got some damn good matches. Penta Cero Miedo, he comes in and it's pretty sweet, man. I think I like it.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All right, James.
Well, I guess shout out to this segment, Brad. Sorry for bringing off behind the scenes. I'm just gonna read it as it is, and we'll just let Adam talk. But I guess up next is Adam's gonna referee Battle Riot.
I wish.
I thought that at the time. Sorry.
No, just doing ring crew stuff. I wish I was reffing. That'd be badass. But no, I'm gonna help with ring setup. Run gear, whatever they might need. They're gonna pick extras. So, I mean, never know. Fingers crossed. But as of right now, it's all just ring crew stuff and helping out, getting stuff in, loading, unloading, all that crap.
Bring the shirt just in case.
Hang out with Alex
I'm
Kane
taking my
and
stuff. You
everything.
never know. But shit, like Brad said earlier, 2 big time pay-per-views this past weekend. And it's crazy because King and Queen of the Ring, 5 matches. Double or Nothing with the buy-in matches, 12 matches.
It's like 5 hours.
Yeah, it was after midnight on the East Coast. I mean, it's insane. But Liv Morgan, like I said, on King and Queen of the Ring, Liv Morgan beat Becky Lynch. Did that surprise anybody?
No, well, we picked it.
I
everyone
figured
knew.
Becky might carry it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think I picked Becky, but knowing
She's
the
taking a
contract
hiatus.
situation,
We kind of know that now.
yeah.
They're talking about her contract's coming to an end.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna leave. I just don't
You
think
just-
she's gonna be around.
I bet she's just gonna be a mom, like
Yeah,
raise the kid, maybe come back around Rumble
on a few
season.
bucks.
Sami Zayn beat Bronson Reed, Chad Gable. Nia Jax is the new Queen of the Ring.
Favorite part was Hunter and her coming out of character. Basically to say that like she earned it and her crying. I know she's a heel, but that was a good moment.
Cody Rhodes beat Logan Paul. Damn good match.
Yeah.
And then
Just no
Gunther.
surprises.
The drone thing I thought was really cool on that
I
frog
thought
splash.
that was amazing.
And supposedly that was his idea from like a year ago. He wanted to do it, and then they just did it this year.
Very cool.
I think that was
Production is amazing, man. And then Gunther beat Randy Orton, which is probably
Did
the
he?
match of the night.
Did he beat him?
The
True.
referee said he did. Referee's
but they-
word is referee's decision. It's final.
Yeah, well, he didn't beat him.
I think he might have just went over too much, and that's why his shoulders up. And now they're gonna kind of play.
Well, they
it
made
out.
it part of the storyline now that he actually
Yeah,
they
now they're making
acknowledged
part
it,
of
which
the
I
storyline.
love. So that's what
If,
she did.
if you go back and watch, you'll see the referee. He tries to slide kind of out of range so he don't see the shoulder. So he'll go 1, and then between 2 and 3, he kind of slides
Yeah.
like with the momentum of Randy Orton to where he don't see the shoulder. I don't know
I
if
think-
any of you caught that.
Yeah, I think the right guy went over though, and I think both
yeah.
King and Queen were the right people to go over, and I'm glad Liv is the champ.
That match they had on Raw, Becky and Liv, how they did that whole thing with Braun Strowman coming around, hitting the gate and hitting it on Becky, knocking her back. All that build to that big storyline for the night was great, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do too.
And then Liv kissing Dominic.
Yeah, but it wasn't on TV on my end. Mine went to black.
Yeah, mine did too. I think they were just.
I think a lot of people did.
Well,
It
then
was
what the
like
fuck?
5 seconds short on time.
That was bullshit. It was a
Tape
whole
machines
part,
are
the whole
rolling.
thing.
The
That
tape
shit won't
machines
happen
are
in
rolling.
January. That shit
Since
won't
when do
happen
the
in
tape
January.
machines rolling for Raw? Like usually they go a few minutes over.
Well, they said maybe Liv might have missed her cue because her back was towards hard cam where the big clock is, so she might have missed it by a couple of seconds. I mean, live TV, shit happens.
Yeah, all I know is this: Dom's a player.
I tell you what, Bubba. Dude's
Did any of
married.
you guys miss it? My
I
TV
didn't see
had
it.
it.
No, I had to watch it on social media.
I've just seen pictures. Shout out.
Double or Nothing real quick. Bunch of matches. Deonna Purrazzo over Thunder Rosa. Acclaimed over Cage of Agony. Match of the night, Will Ospreay over Roderick Strong.
Gonna say that often. Will Ospreay.
So how about him winning the international championship? Now he's number one contender for the world championship. Is it too soon?
They're just
Yeah,
pushing
you
it.
should have. I agree with friend of the show, Paul Water, because when we were watching it, they're like, "Why wouldn't you do this?" Well, I guess Andrew Big Red, he said it. Well, isn't this supposed to be like a London thing? Like, wouldn't he be going for the title in London? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I thought that's what they were going to do too, because it's more of a showcase in London. You want to get your biggest stars out there for the biggest audience. I'm surprised too. As a matter of fact, I was talking about it right before it happened with friend of the show, Bryant Haremza, and it got blown up. Like it was like we thought it was going to be that, and then it ended up being like, oh, it's coming up next. You know,
So if he beats Swerve, are we gonna have another tournament for another title? Because I'm about to be. I mean,
Is he
he's
going
gonna
to
be.
just throw the
I would
national
not be
championship? Like,
surprised.
I don't want this belt no more.
It's gonna be like 5 straight. Well, fucking longer than that. It's gonna be like 8 straight months of tournaments. Like a tournament for this title.
Yeah, he's going to pull
Tournament
that
for this
Samoa
title.
Joe. I don't
We
want
got
this
the
belt
Owen
no more.
coming up. You know, like all this stuff.
He's gonna throw in the garbage like Scott Hall.
I think he'd unify him, honestly. Say he's truly the world champion because he's the international,
he's going to lose.
whatever, and he's the
I think he's going to lose.
He would have to.
maybe.
And say he's on a streak. So if he loses, does he lose the international championship?
No, I heard he has a contract. Logan Paul wrote it up where he doesn't lose it.
Or is this how you get Swerve kind of back on the heel side?
You have to do something. You have to make Swerve here or just end it, right?
I ain't gonna lie. When they was doing that battle royal, whatever it was, I was thinking Heyman's gonna make his return. I was thinking Heyman was coming back.
Yeah, whatever that match was, huh?
Yeah, like all these CMLL dudes would say shout out to them,
What
but
the
it's like
hell?
you're
Yeah.
not gonna come in and like be number one contender. Like that's kind
I
of
did not care for that.
there's a
Man.
better way to display those guys and be like, hey, if they win, a person you don't watch, gonna be number one contender at the pay per view.
Hey, guy that's been at our show 3 times in 5 years. Let's
Yeah.
see if you're number one contender.
Very
Here's the real question coming out of that gauntlet, though. They announced there were 21 people lined up for that gauntlet.
And there's
So
like
if you're
12.
and there was like, maybe 10 or 12 in the ring. If you're the other, like, were there actually 21 or are you just selling it that there's 21?
Maybe
Are there
they
people
reversed
in the
the
back
numbers.
pissed?
Maybe they read 21, but it was really 12.
And Pac, I mean,
Mm.
that dude is like, they ever gonna like
Yeah.
do something with him? Man, he's good.
He is
They can
good.
do with anything, like with half the people they got.
Adding
I-
on to what Bryant and Adam said, maybe Hangman was supposed to come out and win, but he was still waiting in the back, supposed to come out like 2 or 3 people later.
The CMLL
he
thing,
just had
Yeah,
to
good
go home.
point.
Oh well.
just so odd.
Well, speaking of putting belts together, the Bang Bang Gang beat Death Triangle. Why? I don't know, but it's good to see. What's it, Robinson? Good to see him back.
Juice.
Tony Storm over Serena Deeb. I was surprised at that. I figured Serena might win that one.
No, I think Tony was going to keep it for a while.
Got nothing. I love I love the Storm, the whole thing.
Oh God, yeah. It's just they built Serena Deeb up to make this big comeback. Did this whole backstory of her, and everything she's been through. Then she gets beat.
I just don't think she got over enough.
I don't
Maybe
think
if
so.
she would have got over a little more, it may have been a different result, but ended up just being a notch on Tony's bedpost.
Mhm.
Mr. Iron Man, Superman himself, Orange Cassidy, over Trent Beretta.
Didn't need
Orange
to-
Cassidy, he get his ass beat, show up 20 minutes later and do a tournament, and last the longest in the tournament.
Big Orange Cassidy
Battle
fan,
Royal,
big
whatever.
Beretta fan, but didn't need to be on the pay-per-view.
No, it's like one of these things doesn't belong with the other.
And if you're going to do it, why not make? That was my issue with the whole pay-per-view. Are you making somebody or not? I mean, a lot of these guys that won did not need to win. Are we making people or not?
How many times can you beat Trent Beretta before anybody just don't care anymore?
Right.
Oh, that's right. They've already done that.
Just because he's blood and guts here and there and it's entertaining doesn't mean, that he's being made.
And with the angle with Trent that happened last week on Dynamite, as we're recording, it will be the last week on Dynamite. Why didn't they just do that on the pay-per-view?
Exactly. That was the only thing intriguing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a member of the Don Callis family.
I like that. That's something. But have him
Yeah,
win
they
and be a
should have
member of
did
the Don
that.
Callis family.
Did anybody believe Orange Cassidy was joining? Did anybody believe that?
No.
But
Why
he
even
wore
tease
black.
it?
He's
Brutal.
wearing black today. Oh no.
I believe Pac could join before Orange Cassidy would. Another waste of time in the ring for this pay-per-view. Jericho, Hook, and Shibata.
Don't care.
Exactly. And
I
then
I want Shibata to win, but he's not an FMW for the world champion, you know. But again, what does Jericho need to win for? Learning tree.
Yep.
what are we learning? They don't need to be in the
We're
ring?
learning that the 51-year-old guys are the ones getting over, that are already over.
Yeah, the ones that's been over for 15
Let's
years.
talk
And what
about
is
the
he
next
doing?
51-year-old guy, Adam.
I'm right
that-
behind him. Moxley beats Takeshita over a damn qualifier match. How
With a
do you lose
broken,
a
with one
qualifier
arm,
match
with one arm,
on a pay-per-view? You lose the qualifier match.
with one arm. Moxley was injured.
Did you see on Dynamite last night when Moxley
Yeah.
came out? He had that arm like all wrapped up and stuff, and he was carrying the belt in that arm, and I was like, "Oh man!"
And beat Rocky Romero.
No, well, what is that match for? That was a pointless ass match. I'm sorry.
Where'd that come from?
Did anybody think
so you
Rocky
can get that
Romero was gonna
Moxley
beat
entrance?
John Moxley? Rocky
I like
Romero was
Moxley a
losing
bunch,
an
but
MLW.
they need to save it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I don't understand it either. I wish I could explain it. Adam Copeland over Malachi Black. Why is Adam Copeland jumping off the top of the cage? Please, somebody explain that.
I don't
Broke his
think
tibia.
it has been addressed and addressed and addressed. It was ridiculous. He does not need to do that. He never did it before. Why is he doing it now?
Yeah.
When I was watching it and saw him, because he basically like jumps like straight down and then just like roll it. I'm like, oh man, I bet he fucked up his leg.
So then let me ask you another question. Why, like, and I mentioned this before the show, he knew he was hurt right there, right? Why not call it audible?
Why not let Malachi win?
Yes, because now you have a tournament.
Wasn't the rule
Malachi
if he
would be a
lost, he had to
badass
join
champion.
the House of Black, though?
Yeah, but you know what? If he's hurt, he's going off air anyway.
Hell, let Gangrel win it for all I care.
That was cool.
Good
That
pop.
was cool as
Hot
shit. Now
move.
I called that, didn't I, James? We was on a Zoom together, and I said, Gangrel he's going to come through the ring. 5 minutes later, there you come.
So, like, up to this point, I was enjoying the pay-per-view, but I wasn't enjoying the results.
Makes sense.
Well, in WWE, remember they wanted Gangrel for Edge's WrestleMania thing, and then supposedly rumor was they didn't think anybody would remember Gangrel, and then he pops out of there, and the crowd's going fucking ape shit. You know,
that's thinking from some. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if that was a Vince McMahon decision.
Sounds like it.
That does sound like it. Mercedes beat Willow Nightingale for some reason.
Best match of the night, though, so far.
I don't know why she had. I mean, why did she have to beat Willow?
She didn't
She
come there to
just
lose.
got the title.
The first match. She didn't come there to
First
lose.
match in the AEW.
How about then she wrestles the next time, though? How about she wrestles on Wednesday right away? She hasn't wrestled for 2 months, and now she's wrestling two straight shows?
Where'd that match come from? Why does Sky Blue get a just because she jumped her? Shawn Michaels gets a title shot?
I just think she has a nice ass, and they just wanted to get her out there.
That could be
If you listen to the like post show conference, when Mercedes Monet's question about that, she says that she's actually been healthy since January, and like she's ready to go. Like she's been ready to go. They've just been hiding it and waiting for the right time.
I thought it was a good match.
And
I did too.
Chris Statlander heel turn. I'm not sold on her being a heel yet.
Nah.
But I thought that it was strong at the time. But then seeing it on Dynamite, her trying to be, I like her too much. So we'll see. Maybe she can make some adjustments. I'll let it play out. I'll let it play out.
Then Swerve over Christian, pretty good match. And the Elite over FTR, Danielson, and Darby Allin.
All right. So like I said, I love the final countdown music with the 4 screens. I thought that was fun. And the whole match was fun. Now, did I hear that it really wasn't Jungle Boy on fire?
No,
He was on fire, definitely.
Anyway, that was a tough spot.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
So
I think
with
he had
that-
some kind of he had some of that gel or something on him because he
Well,
showed up
yeah.
out of nowhere and he was nice and shiny and everything.
And at least they try to cover it up to where he got wet earlier in the match. And then when he come out looking wet, it made a little bit of sense. So at least I'll give them props for that. At least they tried to cover the tracks.
It was a close call, though. It looked like to me that fire went up. Now listen, it looked. It threw me. It definitely threw me.
The car. Well, oh, you mean the guy that just drove into a fucking car wreck? All of a sudden, is like walking around, grabbing the boss, and then like when we were watching it, I was like, I'm pretty sure that explosion was supposed to be a little bit bigger. And whoever AEW has for their pyro shit, see ya. You know, because the Moxley exploding barbed wire thing, ass. I was there in person. It looked like fucking sparkler things going off. And then this one where he like drives through the thing and it's just like, it's like, man, you know, there's supposed to be some type of little explosion thing. And I think that's why they kind of like stopped for a second after, because he wrecks and then it's kind of like just like looks at the camera, you know, and everybody just kind of stalled.
But in defense of AEW, everybody always everybody give it a hard time about like there's just an athletic contest, they're just dream matches, nobody cares. They're making an attempt at story. Whether you like it or not is a different story. Like they're you know, like them saying Okada, he doesn't need to do this. Yes, he does. He's a great wrestler, and he had no real personality like that before. They're trying to make a character. Same with Ospreay. I think they're good attempts. I don't know if it's for everybody, but like without story, there's nothing. And I don't want to just completely always agree with Eric Bischoff, but it's not. If we want to watch football, we'll watch football for a contest between two teams. This is supposed to be a story. So I'm not saying
when they gave
the
him
best
that
story.
car, when they gave him the car,
that was cool.
Like, oh, and it just moves his hand and it's like his face is like dead face. I thought that was sick because he's like, oh, thank you guys, thank you.
Yeah, I was listening to Busted Open.
Badass car.
Yeah, they're revving the fuck out of it. Like, man, you're gonna crack one of the engine heads, bro. You're redlining this thing.
Car.
I love this.
Him telling the crowd, "Shut up, bitches."
Yeah,
that was
hilarious. That was the biggest pop of the night, according to somebody that called in a Busted Open. They said that was the pop of the night. Shut up, bitches. So no, it's a lot of wrestling this weekend. So I ain't even about to touch on Raw, SmackDown, and everything else. NXT was great.
Oh, I didn't want to say that. Yeah.
We gotta talk about that.
Who saw Ethan Page coming?
I did not see Ethan Page coming.
No.
I didn't see Jordan Grace coming.
No, not at all.
And I sure as hell didn't see what is it? Sexy Red?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I don't know much about her.
I didn't see any of those things coming. I'll tell you what, they put their best foot forward. That was a great show.
Yeah, NXT went above and beyond. So I do want to shout them out. Good ass show. Great seeing Ethan Page getting used efficiently finally, because he's a damn good worker, man, damn good guy.
Yeah.
And then we're like, that's Ethan Page. Didn't he used to wrestle for A? Bam, and all that stuff. That was excellent by the commentators. Excellent timing by Ethan Page to attack like right when he's like, didn't he used to wrestle for A? And then like oh man, that was perfect. That was good.
Booker T's like, whoa.
So about 3-4 years ago, there was a show called Wrestlers or The Wrestlers. Not the one on Netflix, but it was and it followed Ethan Page when he was on the independent scene, and he almost was giving up and saying that he was getting to an age where he didn't think if he wasn't gonna make it, he was like he was running out of time. And then shortly after that, I saw that he was in there was Impact at the time, and he was part of the North without Josh Alexander. And then from there, going to AEW, and now making the WWE NXT. I'll tell you what, man, long road for this guy, and I'm very happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's 34. He's not a kid. He's not a kid.
And plus, he's running like a show up north, and where he lives, close to the border. He's running his own show up there too. So he's staying busy, man. So that's awesome.
Yeah, great show. I enjoyed it.
That's it on my end, brother.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, appreciate that. And now my segment, the spirit of the touch. Quarter Brad. So as you can see, I am back in my humble abode this week. I'm not in a hotel room with amazing audio because it was fun stuff listening back to me. But I had some flight delays and travel delays, and was had a layover in the Phoenix airport for about 12 hours, and the Dallas Mavs had a basketball game, and yeah, your boy decided to sit at a hotel bar or a hotel. God, I keep saying that airport bar and get drunk. And as we all know, airports are way cheap, and it's just so like cost effective. Oh wait, that's not right. There was one there was one airport bar I spent like $180 at. So I mean I got food and then drinking, talking to people because like airports are real like a good conglomerate, everybody can chill. And we're all watching the game and we're all like drinking, because when you're watching a game in public with people, you tend to be down in them beers a little bit faster. So it was that was cool. The layover part was not getting home like 14 hours after I was originally supposed to be home. Was not cool at all. But it's just part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I mean that's all that, and then I filed my moving stuff, so about to get my moving date, and they have to pack my shit because they have to inventory it all, so that's gonna be fun stuff. And I gave them a time frame of like 12 days to leave here and get there. And on the thing, like when I submitted it, it's like you will be called or whatever. That's not enough time. And I was like, the fuck is that not enough time? But I guess they can only drive so many hours a day, like with all those new regulations and stuff. Because, truckers used to do a bunch of meth and just drive like all night. So now it's federally regulated to where they can only drive, I think, like 8 or 10 hours or something like that.
So they're gonna have somebody from up there drive down to you, pick up your stuff, and then drive all the way back.
Yeah. Like I think they're coming out of Jacksonville, this moving company. They'll pack all my shit and then
Make
it's gonna
sure
be
you
a
take
hell of a
pictures.
job, man. I bet they get paid a shitload to be like, all right, you're going to California, Like,
So they're putting all your shit in boxes and everything, or
yeah, I guess they pack it. It's what it says.
cool.
Because I guess so they can inventory it. So if anything's broken, they're held liable and all this stuff. And then my what I don't want them to pack, I'll just put in my car. So I'm gonna take like a bunch of clothes and stuff. Probably have to take an air mattress because I don't know when I'm getting there compared to when that's all getting there. So maybe
Right. Never know.
maybe sleeping on the air mattress or something for a day or two. I don't really know. I'm pretty new to all of this, so it is what it is. Yeah. Um, didn't really have much. I mean, I got a extreme topic, but I'm saving it for an episode that's not as long-winded because I will have a long-winded topic probably coming up. But yeah, man, spirit of the touch. Football's less than 100 days away. Everything's going good. But it's just like a hurry up and wait thing. So it's like I really don't have that much to update on because it's all like hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. Like do this now. All right, and then wait like 3 weeks. Well, you better do this now, and then wait another bit. So that part's driving me nuts. And the longer I'm here, the less money I'm making when I would be over there making more money. That sucks.
You'll get through it.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have anything you want to,
So
my segment can turn
real
into our
quick, you
segment.
you just talked about football. As we're recording, we're exactly at the football solace. There's been 15 Sundays since the Super Bowl. There's 15 Sundays until preseason starts. Hey, we are almost there, guys. We're almost there.
Out.
All positive from this point forward, right? But you know what football season means? Summer's over.
Yeah.
There's like just all kinds of you can make anything a negative if you get Brad involved, right?
Mr. Cup half empty.
But no, man, things are going good. Obviously, really dug my segment last week about the Eagle thing. I thought that was pretty good. I actually listened to it like 2 or 3 times, like because it was mainly not like my part, but like me reading the thing. I was like, man, that's good shit. Like, and I guess it's like an old Chinese proverb or something like that. Yeah,
I'm going to share it on Twitter when I share some of the show, and I'm going to have a picture of the movie The Crow. And we say, listen in for James, the spirit of the feud.
Yeah. They're remaking The Crow too, I believe.
Hopefully this
That's
goes better.
James's demographic. You know?
Unfortunately, I think they are.
I know they re-released the original in movie
They
theater.
did. They've already announced a release date for it, and it's starring Bill Skarsgård, the guy who played Pennywise in the It movies.
Yeah, he's scary.
Have you seen it?
I have. Shout
Chapter
out.
1 and 2.
How have you seen it? It hasn't even been released yet.
It?
It?
No, The Crow, the new one.
Who's on first?
Damn it! You gave me.
Boy.
Hey, you know what? This is one thing completely out of context, but speaking of old comic stuff, why do Laurel and Hardy never get the love that they deserve, man? They are fucking classic, dude. I love me some Laurel and Hardy. For all of
It's
y'all at
80
home,
It's
look it
80
up.
years old.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
I'm not saying it is either. I'm just saying it's old and people don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes it's worth like rekindling a little history and watching, you know, some things from the
listen.
past.
Kid I work with didn't know who Marvin Harrison was, so let's go with that. All right. That's from
Insane.
2008.
He had like back to back, like 100 catch seasons, like all the
I'm just saying,
time.
you're talking about Laurel and Hardy. This kid doesn't know who Marvin Harrison is. Probably one of the top 5 greatest receivers of all time.
Right. Laurel and Hardy's good shit, Devin. You know, look him up. It's kind of a what do you call like slapstick type comedy thing?
Very
You know, one
slapstick,
real
very
big guy and then one like real skinny dude. Fucking love Laurel and Hardy, man. Ah, good shit.
It's like Robin Big.
In a sense, yeah.
No, the only Hardys I know are Matt and Jeff.
What about the singer, Hardy?
Oh yeah. He has a good song, Rockstar. That's the only one I know.
All right.
And that is the spirit of the touch. Appreciate everybody chopping in. That was good. Oh man. Well, you know what else is good? Devyn's distant day of drama. So Devyn, what drama you got?
Yeah, I don't know. I read the outline and went, what the hell am I supposed to talk about this for? I don't have too much dramatic days. Most of the time, if something dramatic happens, I sweep it off 10 minutes later. So I thought drama. Let's go dramatic TV shows. So I have some dramatic TV shows. I just want you guys to choose which one of these would you choose over the other one. So for number 1, we have The Bold and the Beautiful versus As the World Turns.
I didn't see this coming.
Yeah. So
I always like to name The Bold and the Beautiful. I'm not gonna say I've watched either of these, but I'm gonna go Bold and the Beautiful because it's a badass name. Bold is the men, beautiful the women, right?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm gonna go with yes.
I'm gonna say as the world's turn, just to say something different than Brad.
Okay.
Hey,
So
I
offended.
choose A.
Days of Our Lives. Oh wait, that was
Shout out Marlena being the devil.
fucking
No, I know
Stefano.
that one. I know Days
Stefano
of Our
kidnapping
Lives.
Marlena like every year. Every year, like shit, we need something. Stefano.
What about when
kidnap her
she was
again.
possessed by the devil? That was the Marlena I can get behind. And then the
Oh,
devil.
well, hope forgetting her memory. Her memory is gone, and Bo's trying to win her back.
Yeah, and Stefano, you're right about Stefano though. He was in the wheelchair. He forgot who he was. Then he remembered.
And then they switched out that John dude, like in the middle of
Oh
like,
yeah, and it wasn't really him.
yeah.
Guys, you know what?
He's
I
like the
chose
main
the wrong
character. I just
soap
found him
opera.
out.
I love the Days of Our Lives in the Day.
My stepmom used to watch it all the time, dude. So I'll just be like, can you believe Stefano's kidnapping her again? Like, it's like a Hollywood shit. Just
Like,
remake.
this
Just
dude
redo
never
it.
dies. Stefano never dies.
Not to mention, you could not watch that for 3 months, and just like wrestling, you could get right back into it in less than a week.
Look
My
at
mom's
us.
always said wrestling is just the male soap opera. So,
So true. Anyway,
all right. I think everyone answers. So number 2, The Sopranos versus The Walking Dead.
so Walking Dead was really awesome for a while, but overall, Sopranos is the better show.
I'm gonna say
I've never watched either one.
I love that show.
Walking Dead,
Oh yeah.
even season 8.
All of it.
I don't remember which season it
Even
was.
the episode where the people like bit off the dicks.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. We talked about this on one episode, and then I found an old status like a week after we recorded that episode. The one time I watched Walking Dead, and there's an episode with monsters biting people's dicks. I was like, I fucking told y'all. But yeah, Breaking Bad? No, I'm kidding. I've never watched The Sopranos. Hear a lot of great things about it, but never seen it, and never really watched Walking Dead. But if I had to choose, Sopranos.
I've never seen either one.
Same.
I've seen them both.
All right, so
I like them both. I would pick The Sopranos as a better show, though.
I've never seen The Sopranos, so I choose The Walking Dead. But the funny thing is, I messed up because number 3 was supposed to be Game of Thrones versus Walking Dead, and number 2 was supposed to be Sopranos versus Breaking Bad.
Breaking
So
Bad.
I guess we're gonna do
Breaking
number
Bad.
3, Game of Thrones versus Breaking Bad.
Funny
Breaking
story
Bad.
is, I did not see Game of Thrones, but I read it.
Oh, nice.
And then I was waiting for the new
I
book
need
to
to
come
do
out,
it.
and then they never did. So now they went off on their own. So I'm going to go Breaking Bad.
Yeah, me too.
You know what's funny is when people make fun of like, oh, wrestling, you know that's fake, right? And I'm like, oh, so wrestling is fake, but you're gonna tell me like you sit there and watch like these fire breathing dragons and a bunch of incest, and you're gonna
Or
be
you
like,
watch The Walking
"That's
Dead
okay."
with zombies.
Exactly. You're gonna be like, well, I can't believe you watch that. You know it's fake, right? Yeah, like these fire breathing dragons, like you just look up in the sky, like, oh my god, there's one right there. Like, come on, man, fuck off.
Guy gave me a hard time one time at work and said, I can't believe you're doing a show about a predetermined event. I said, you know, there's actually podcasts about Dungeons and Dragons, like the game.
Well, and there's audibles all the time in wrestling too, like Vince, you know.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of podcasts about things that are fictional.
Hell, The Office, the girl that played Pam and the girl that played Angela, I don't know, they were Jenna Fisher and whatever. They do a podcast every week, like the Office Gals or something like that.
Yeah, whatever, jerk off, right?
It's Always Sunny has a podcast where they talk about their show.
I listen to a
Yeah.
podcast
It's
about
declassified.
I listen to a Lost podcast. I'm just saying, there's a lot out there.
Jodie Sweetin from Full House, she has a podcast.
Shout out, she is smoking now.
All right. Question number 4. This is my final one. We got Ring of Honor versus Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground.
I gotta go Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think I'm going to Ring of Honor too, because I've only seen 2 matches for Lucha Underground.
How many have you seen Ring of Honor?
Whatever's on AEW TV.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, I honestly was thinking the Ring of Honor previously.
We watched the Kevin Owens match on here.
Yeah, we watched a couple matches.
Well, as a resident expert of both, I will have to take some time to ponder both of these. But no, I would go with the old school Ring of Honor. But yeah, I don't know.
PJ Black, you know, got some great names that came out of there too.
Nigel.
Hell yeah,
I'm
dude.
really like going back and seeing some Nigel stuff, and I'm like, man.
And shout out Kerry Silkin, good guy.
Yep.
ROH.
That's
baby.
I would go with Ring of Honor as well. I miss Sunday
But-
nights late at night turning on the TV when I'm supposed to be in bed, but watching Ring of Honor at midnight. So
I think if I ever get back on the smoking weed train, I might turn on some Lucha Underground and like it as much as anything I've ever watched in my life.
Shout out.
I'm with you.
Anyway,
And that's my topic for the week. So, whatever Devyn's distant day of drama was supposed to be, you got dramatic TV shows. So, back to you, James.
Hell yeah, good stuff. And I like how you talked about dramatic TV shows and put in wrestling in that. So, shout out.
Sports entertainment.
Correct.
There you go.
That being said, is it match number 2 time? All right. Well, continuing on with our Lucha Underground talk, it's time for match number 2. And what is it? It is Pentagon Jr. versus Vampiro. It is a Cero Miedo match, and it is from Ultima Lucha Part 2 on Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 39. Hot damn. 39. And it took place, surprise, surprise, the Lucha Underground Temple in Boyle Heights, California.
Hey, look at all the people.
Hell
More
yeah.
than AEW.
And yes, that is a live band above the entrance.
You know, it kind of looks like I don't know if you guys watch Heels or not. It kind of looks like that area that where they were. Man,
It does, don't it? I never
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
this has a look, like a very similar look. I
Netflix
guess
is
it's any old warehouse. Go figure.
underground.
I like
Netflix
it.
is bringing back Heels. They're gonna get the streaming rights, and if it performs well, they're gonna make another season.
I'm excited to hear that. I read that as well. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was taped April 19th of 2015. It aired August 6th, or my bad, August 5th, 2015. And it had a
3
match
months.
link. What's up?
3 months after.
Post-production, you know. Post-production takes a long time.
Adam knows about that.
Had a match length of 11 minutes and 9 seconds.
And your boy Meltzer gave it 8 3/4 stars.
Right? He ran out of room on the page because he was putting so many stars. But enough about that intro. Bryant, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How did we get here?
Season 1, Lucha Underground. The introduction of Pentagon Jr. as just another luchador coming into the temple to try to make a name for himself. Realizing he needs to do something different, wants to get an edge. So he goes off and finds his master to help bring out the darker side of Pentagon.
Master.
Thank you. During one of these episodes, he would come out trying to be more edgy, would try to intimidate Melissa Santos, the ring announcer. Vampiro at ringside doing commentary tries to stand up and confront Pentagon, saying that that's not the thing to do. Before he could go in, another luchador, Sexy Star, comes out to defend Miss Santos. This would lead to a match between Pentagon and Sexy Star. During this match, Pentagon would try to do his patented arm break move on Sexy Star, only for Vampiro to stop him. Vampiro would come in and try to stop him, and the next week on television, he would apologize for getting involved, saying he's a commentator, he's not a wrestler anymore. Pentagon would then use the next several episodes trying to goad Vampiro into a match, and ending episode 35, a couple weeks before Ultima Lucha, Pentagon would attack Vampiro at the announce table, bloodying him and still trying to goad him into one more match. A couple weeks later, Pentagon would be in the ring trying to again bring out the dark side of Vampiro. Vampiro would come out and say that he didn't know if he had anything left in him, but he has enough for one more match, and it was to stop Pentagon and his new dark ways. And that is what led us to this match.
So we got Pentagon.
Hey, Brian, would it be fair to say that Ultima Lucha is kind of like their version of WrestleMania?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It is their version of WrestleMania, and it's also for like a television purpose, the season finale, essentially, as well.
I was gonna say they didn't run every week, did they?
They did run
like seasons. They did
they
like,
did seasons.
Like what, 20 weeks or something?
This was episode
so
39 of season 1.
So yeah, the first season was 39, and then they kind of went down from there, but they ran about 30 episodes usually for the season. Kind of the later seasons they did. We kind of about 30 episodes for those.
Okay.
So we have Pentagon Jr. entrance, Mike. We've seen him a bunch, and we've seen, like, is he a heel or babyface to you? What do you think?
Like right now or
Like,
during this?
throughout his AEW career that we have seen, and even here, what do you think?
I think he's like the Big Show. He goes back and forth. Depends on who he's facing in the ring.
I agree. Like, I feel like he's come out as the bad guy, come out as the good guy. I'm never really sure. And he doesn't. We do not know his true identity. Do you know that?
Yeah, it's Pentagon Jr.
But I mean, we don't know his real name.
Pentagon Junior says it right there.
I knew you were gonna say that.
He's
And,
the son
we-
of Pentagon Senior.
That's old
Anyway.
Pentagon Senior's boy. Yeah, old Pentagon Senior boy.
Ray
I
Phoenix's
get what you're
brother.
saying. I don't. Yeah,
Ray
no,
Phoenix's
and
brother,
it's-
but that's
I
again.
don't even think, like, you can find like pictures of like different people that wear masks, online without it and find out who they are. But him, you can't.
Shout
Right.
out Melissa Santos, Roll Tide. Anybody know who she's married to?
Pentagon Jr.
Um, Melissa Santos is married to Brian Cage.
Yeah, I do know who that is now. So Vampiro entrance, a lot going on here, Devyn, with his look, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. He's giving like Dark Lord vibes, honestly, to me. Like, I don't know. A pope, but also like his
Pope?
whole face is painted. I don't
Uh,
know.
Yeah, it's just very unique. So big reaction for Vampiro, a very slow burn of him entering the area. Adam, who's the referee?
That is the corpse ref, Rick Knox.
And James, who are the announcers?
Boy, so we got Matt Stryker and Michael Chiavello,
Chevalo.
Chiavallo, and Michael Chiavallo.
That works.
So Pentagon hits Vampiro with a chair. There's no rules here, Devyn?
No, that's what it's the Cero Miedo match is
Zero.
said. Just no disqualification. Falls count anywhere.
4 chair shots, another shot. They're in the stands now. Mike, Vampiro, does he look like Kane to you?
No,
How about Kane without the mask?
no. He-
Awesome.
I mean, no.
The answer was yes.
He looks like a
Oh!
jacked up priest or something, or pope or something. I don't know what the hell.
Look,
Vampire.
look a little harder next time, okay? Pentagon throws a cup at Vampiro. How funny was this, huh?
You know who he does remind me of though? Glenn Jacobs.
So Adam, Vampiro looked like PCO to you?
Now I can see that more or less than Glenn Jacobs or Kane.
Oh man, these are the questions, huh? I don't know who writes this shit down. That's for sure. Attitude adjustment to Vampiro on the outside. That was
DVD.
or was it something else, Devyn?
I'm pretty sure it was a Death Valley driver, according to the Matt Stryker. But
Just having,
DVD, Devin Vincent Dowling.
Boom.
Hmm.
my cousin's name's Vinny.
cousin Vinny, huh?
Hey!
Shout
You
out.
got the- Did you got the gabagool?
They got wiggle.
My biological clock is ticking. All right.
You trying to get pregnant, bro?
Everybody knows what I mean except everybody, but nobody knows except James.
That reference is gonna hit when we post the episode.
Throwing chairs at Vampiro now. Chair shots aplenty. Yeah, I wrote that. Pentagon pushes referee Adam. What the hell kind of bullshit is it? Because the referee puts the X up. Isn't this a no-no?
Yeah, it's a little bit too much behind the scenes for me. So I didn't like it. Wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, I understand. Hey, let's wait. Bring medical out here, but the X thing is that's breaking down the fourth wall too much for me, brother.
I gotta follow up to that. James L. Corai from Florida has a question for Adam. And I guess you kind of sort of answered it, but do you think like whoring out that X thing? I don't think it's worth doing like ever. Like that should be straight up reserved for,
Emergency.
definite like emergency style, because you don't want to cry wolf, on any of that stuff. And so as an in-ring performer, do you think that you can do it and it adds to the story? Or do you think that it should be specifically saved for those emergency type situations?
It got prostituted out too much, so it should be specifically for a legit emergency. Because if you start prostituting it out like that, how do you know when it's real, when it's not? So that's why you've seen them go to more or less when the referee goes out and checks on them, they do what they do now. That's not an X to make sure the person or the performer is good to go. Then they jump back in the ring. So
Couldn't
There's
agree
another
more.
form of way. There's another way of checking on them other than the X now.
Because you can bring out a stretcher and do a stretcher spot without like doing the X. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like,
Exactly.
Because we don't know. Yes. Yeah. Everyone is checking on Vampiro, James. Are they keeping the crowd through this thing?
I kind of, it kind of seemed like, oh, they're already doing like a bullshit finish. So the crowd's like, But
Mhm.
but yeah, like at this moment, I'm not going to speak on what happens next, but at this moment, it seems like, oh, fuck, here we go. Now what are they going to do next? Like it does kind of lessen the crowd, I guess.
Yeah, but here comes the stretcher, and then never mind, Vampiro's up. Vampiro back in the ring, spring leg kick to Pentagon. Now here come the tacks. Okay, Mike, do you remember the first time you saw tacks in a match?
Well, I think it was Mick Foley that did it.
Exactly. I mean, it's always a scary moment, isn't it? Like,
And didn't Mick Foley at one time get hauled off on a stretcher and then come back and finish the match too?
that was
Same
actually
thing. Hell in a
the match
cell.
of all matches.
The
Same
same
thing.
exact match.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's repeating itself.
Body slam to Pentagon on the tacks. Vampiro off the top rope, misses Pentagon on the tacks. Devyn, obviously this is a fun match, but what do you think of the selling?
I like the selling. Vampiro sold 400 chair shots to the outside of the ring. He was getting stretchered out until he was like, all right, I gotta actually fight. Came back. I think the selling with the thumbtacks, I mean, these two are two brutal men, so a bunch of thumbtacks in their back is gonna hurt for a second, but they're gonna keep fighting through it. So I think they sold it well.
By the way, Devyn, did you like Stryker's call to commercial?
I did. That was hilarious. I actually wrote it down. He was like, all right, guys, let's just go to commercial. When Vampiro's getting stretchered out.
I forgot to ask you that. Light tube to the head of Vampiro. Adam, what's your favorite light tube match?
The match where they didn't have them. That was my favorite one. He stand this shit.
A bloody Vampiro now, kick to Vampiro. Pentagon with another light tube, kick to Vampiro. A lot of blood. Now we have a chop party. Vampiro moves out of the way of Pentagon, throwing him into the light tube in the corner. Now ripping the mask off of Pentagon. Too far with this mask, right, James?
Yeah, like the previous match we watched had some mask ripping stuff, and now this has a mask ripping thing. And number one, commentary is like, oh, the mask is the most important thing to a lucha, blah blah blah. And this show is called Lucha Underground, and they just straight rip masks all the time. Like when I don't know, I didn't get that part of it.
Light tube to the head of Pentagon. This is awesome chance. Pentagon quickly back into it though. Vampiro slam off the top to Pentagon onto the tacks. Move of the night, Mike. Did you think like this off the top of the turnbuckle slam onto the tacks right here?
It
Thank
was a
you.
good move. I don't know, maybe the move of the night, but it was good.
I thought it was pretty impressive, and I really thought it was something. Vampiro, gasoline, and a lighter and a table. Nothing can go wrong here, right, Devyn?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Every time there's fire involved, I'm always a little weary of what's going to happen. As we were talking about with Jack Perry a little bit earlier, those flames were definitely going upward. So, fire and glass, I'm kind of with Adam. That can stay away from my
I mean,
wrestling.
the funny thing about fire is that it is real fire. Whether or not you have precautions in place, that is fire. You know what I mean? Like that glass
Yes,
can almost
it
not
is.
be glass. You know what I mean? That glass could be like, I know these light tubes are probably right, but there's that other glass that isn't as bad, right? But this is fire.
So
It's
in the
real
picture,
fire.
right here, does it look like Rick Knox is just sitting there looking at the fire like,
Yeah.
"Whoa,
He wants his
that's fire,
marshmallows,
guys."
s'mores. He's like all in, maybe a hot dog.
It's like he's looking at the fire like it's just an everyday match. Like okay, there's a fire. What am I eating tonight?
Like a
He just
caveman
looks
seeing
at
it
it
for
like
the
it ain't
first time, right? I see fire. All right. All right. What am I talking about here? All right. So he lights the table, but Pentagon has now recovered and slams him through it. Now, Vampiro on fire. Adam, what's your favorite Inferno match?
The one where they catches the guy on fire. That one.
So then, it actually, like, everything moves pretty quickly here, and Pentagon pins Vampiro on the outside. So the match is actually over, but that's not the end of the show here. Vampiro jawing at Pentagon and is asking him to break his arm. So he does. Nothing weird about that. Vampiro then tells Pentagon he's ready because all along Vampiro was the master. They embrace, and let me tell you guys, this was a chills moment for me. Devyn, did Darth Vader just defeat Palpatine?
It honestly felt like that to me, man. Like, with the way that Vampiro's face was all painted up and saying that he was a leader. We've always known that, like, Pentagon Jr., he can go babyface, he can go heel. Everyone in Star Wars, you hate Darth Vader because he's the ultimate bad guy, but you love him because he's Anakin. So I completely felt that right here. It's the babyface, maybe a babyface defeating his natural leader. Darth Vader just defeated Palpatine. I thought it was fantastic.
I actually really enjoyed this match. It was a little shorter than the last one, but I really enjoyed it because it was just so. I really like Vampiro, and obviously I like Pentagon. I mean, we've seen a lot of him as the Lucha Brothers, and then he even does his own thing for some time because Phoenix is always hurt, you know.
There was one part in the match, Bryant, if you have that picture. So one part in the match, the crowd is like, doing the dueling chant things, and it's like Pentagon, it's like Vampiro, and there's a person like wearing it may not be this part, but maybe I sent you the wrong time code. But there's a person, this you see the dude with like his hands clasped like this, like kind of third row back. He's wearing a red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got like a Penta mask on. I know it says Lucha on it, but he's all about Penta at the beginning. But then when they start chanting, he's chanting Vampiro. Like it just tripped me out. But good crowd involvement, I guess. But sheer and opposite, it seemed like.
Interesting.
That's just pointing out the work of these two gentlemen in the ring. Honestly, we pointed out like Bret Hart versus Stone Cold before, how they can change the crowd and throughout the match. The crowd switched with Vampiro.
And it's like what Bruce said, like when they would do like "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." Bruce was always like, "Yeah, it's the same people chanting both."
It is the same people chanting both. I've been at the show and did not know that till Royal Rumble when Shinsuke won. It was the first Women's Royal Rumble. I had no idea that was the case until I was there.
So Brad, if you like this match, there's another one. It's Swerve Strickland. He went by Killshot, and AR Fox went by Dante Fox. They had this Hell of War match, and they beat the shit out of each other. Panes of glass. I mean, it's insane. So that might be something you might want to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out a little more of this, so I can just become a little more familiar at the very least. But we have some listener questions here if you guys are ready.
Always.
My second favorite segment, today's agenda, listener questions. So yeah,
So
and you can submit your listener questions on our social medias whenever we post about discussing the match.
Links down below.
Brandy Wagner has more of a statement. As always, never a question, but a statement. Prince Puma, Killshot, and King Cuerno. Whatever happened to these guys, huh? So for those of you that don't know and haven't heard us yet, that would be Ricochet, that would be Swerve, and that would be Santos Escobar.
Huh. Oh, Richard O'Shea. Always liked him.
Matt M wants to know, John Morrison changing his name to adapt to a promotion, yay or nay?
I like it.
That's him.
I think John Morrison is so
somebody
underrated.
different. He comes out there and he can always be, I'm Johnny this person, I'm Johnny that person. He doesn't come out there and just say, "Hi, I'm Matt M."
And he keeps his name, like, keeps like, because obviously they're gonna like copyright it and everything, like everywhere he goes, but he keeps like his name, and like, oh, that's Johnny wherever the fuck he's at now. And that move thing he does where he like bounces off the rope and spins real quick and stuff, like, hot damn, that dude's good.
He is good. Hey, ho ho. Miz and Morrison.
Starship Pain. Oh man, that move was fantastic, James. I love John Morrison, especially now watching ECW 2008. John Morrison and The Miz are tearing it up on the dirt sheet. So yeah, John Morrison, I'm with you guys. He's always been underrated. The winner of Tough Enough.
What do you got there? Anything, Adam? You agree?
I agree.
All right, cool. James Elkerai's dad, Randy Elkerai, wants to know if the crew were luchadors, what would their names be? All right, everybody pick their name.
Oh fuck.
Oh, El Refo.
El Refo.
Well, I know this, as Adam likes to call me Richard. So it's Ricardo Dicko. That's my name.
Ricardo Verga.
I love it, Brad.
Man, that's good.
Dad always comes with the heat.
Right. You ever see that South Park episode where they start their wrestling thing and
Oh,
Kenny
yeah.
goes by El Pollo
No,
Loco
yeah.
and all the
Yeah.
fucking Mexican people like get behind him 'cause he's like that luchador. And then when they kill him, it's like "Ay Dios mío, el muerte el pollo loco," and it's like "Bastardos," like they do that part in Spanish. Oh man, that episode's awesome.
Then Vincent Man comes out.
Yeah, signs of the wrestling coach or whatever. Oh man, what would La Flama Blanca? You ever watch Eastbound and Down?
I was thinking El Corai.
Oh, that is so man, it's right there. Yeah, I would go by El Corai. Fuck it with in Arabic, I think that means the king. So El Corai.
El Loco Corai.
It was right there, and I didn't even. Man, good job, Brad. It was
Got lucky.
right there, and I didn't even get it.
All right, Devin.
In 9th grade or 8th grade, we had to select a Spanish name, and it stuck with us throughout until I graduated high school. So my Spanish name was Santiago. So I would be like Santiago Dowling, be the Spanish Irish dude.
Dude, we did that same shit. Mine was Ernesto.
Ernesto.
Yeah.
Santiago was my ref buddy that got me into Atlanta last week. So when you say Santiago, that's what I go to.
Shout out Santiago.
Santiago, Chile. Yeah, twice last spring. Shout out something about Mary. Go ahead, Mike.
Practical Jokers were like, tell him Santiago sent you. Santiago sent you.
Miguelito.
Little Michael.
Well,
I
that's
like
what my uncle used to call me that all the time. So
All right,
Good
good
answer.
job. Good job, guys. Good job. All right, friend of the show, Ben Jones. Given the
Shout out.
Mexican theme, what is the crew's go-to Mexican food?
Tacos.
yeah.
Just tacos, making tacos.
You know,
If
you know,
there's
like
a
we got,
weeks.
there's a real nice. Well, it's not real nice. It's like a little actually Mexican store that has a little restaurant thing in it. But they do their tacos. I get a chicken, a steak, and El Pastor taco, and I empty the tacos out, mix everything up with the onions and the chives and everything else with sauce, and then make one taco out of those.
I'm fucking starving.
It's good.
I like I'm a sucker for a good chile relleno, especially if it's like got some beef in it with the cheese and everything, and a good like crunchy crust, like not too crunchy but not like soggy as fuck. Tamales are bomb. Golly, love tamales. Enchiladas really good. Tacos, man, Mexican food kicks ass. Fucking nachos, like I'm all for it.
Yes, the chicken nachos. Yes.
So there's we recently started going to this like we were trying to go one place and it was too busy, so we went to this other like kind of like a little hole in the wall kind of like Mexican restaurant. They had this thing called quesabria, and it's like the beef in there with it, and like the soft shell is kind of like fried-ish, but it's not too hard, but it's done enough. And then they have the like almost an au jus that you dip it in. It's freaking like it's my new thing. It's so freaking good. Like I mean it's so good that I want it every day.
I don't know about every day,
But I do love I'm an enchilada guy. I don't do the burrito thing like with all the rice in it. I like my stuff on the side a little bit, but it's all good. I love
Oh,
tacos.
street tacos. We didn't talk about street tacos.
Love street tacos.
Fuck, those
nachos.
are good too.
Where do you guys stand on guacamole though?
Negative.
I'm okay with it as long as it's with other things. I just don't want to dip in guacamole alone. Like I'm okay with it if it's on there, but I don't want it by itself.
Here's a hot take, and I will definitely take all the arrows to the face on this one. Not a fan of sour cream at all.
I'm okay with sour cream
Can't
again.
fuck it. And then when you put on your Taco Bell to go order, no sour cream, and them dick fucks, number one, put it on there, but number two, don't roll your shit correctly. So you get that one bite that's just straight up a dollop of sour cream. God, that pisses me off. So I have to use the sauce and just douse the fucking sauce, douse the sour cream with the taco sauce and all that stuff. Man, read the fucking order. I'm already spending like $20 to have this shit delivered. Fucking cost $5. Paying more in delivery fees.
You can't make those kind of mistakes.
Fuck, smooth.
Why you just put
I'll be like eating the
Why you just
burrito,
put
like,
sweet
oh
pickles
fuck
on
yeah,
this
this is
bitch?
good. And you take that one bite and it's all sour cream. Man, 7 shades of pissed. When my ticket says no sour cream, and it's in like bold like letters, Shout out Taco Bell in Melbourne.
Well, you ain't gotta worry about
Shout
that
out
soon.
McDonald's and Governor putting mustard on my burger when I say substitute mustard with mayo. That means I don't want mustard.
Hey, Mexican pizza bomb from Taco Bell.
So Amy sent in some text message questions. So she writes, thinking of questions for you guys, is there anything that you all think was portrayed better on Lucha Underground that what they were I'm sorry. Is there anything that you all think was portrayed better on Lucha Underground than what they were portrayed in the professional wrestling world? Come on, James, what do you think?
Well, as a resident expert on this,
Speaking of keys,
I'll tell you what,
probably Ricochet. Oh, hell, I don't know.
Jeff Cobb looked, I thought that was a really good presentation of him. Devin, what do you got?
I got one. The way that Lucha Underground was taped, I like it way better than the way that NWA Power is taped. They're both studio setting companies and both studio setting like performances, but I feel like the NWA doesn't cut out anything. They put the entire match in there. Well, I feel like if there was something that was botched or something that was messed up a little bit in Lucha Underground, they've completely cut that and edited it out. Like James talked about a little bit earlier, how it was posted 3 months later than when it was actually like recorded. I feel like that's to take out all those minimal, Vampiro slipped right here. Let's not add that in there. Well, the NWA, they're just going to post the whole freaking match. Like, they do not care about that. They're just posting it all. Like, I absolutely love the NWA. I watch it on CW all the time. But, so, that's just my one thing that I noticed with that. These 2 Lucha Underground matches, they were really, like, they were great for television, I thought.
Oh, great answer. Anybody else have anything?
No,
I
I
think
like the way their background was. So like their whole, like you're saying, they're in a studio, but just they got the design going on in the back, of it being an underground place. So I did like that.
Bryant, this would be your type of question. You obviously know a little more about this than us.
I was just about to jump in. Thank you, James. I think for me, the thing that I enjoyed about Lucha Underground was I always try to compare it to like a telenovela a little bit. It's very heavy on story, and they do like a lot of like the Hollywood pre-production backstage stuff where it's, you're seeing the guys interact backstage, you're seeing stories told backstage that translate to the ring of like, hey, here's why this rivalry is going. We talked about like with the last match, Pentagon finding his master. They do this great, like, I almost want to call it Tarantino style shoot of him looking for his master, training with his master, getting ready for this match with Vampiro. And that's something that you don't really see a lot with WWE or even AEW now. And I think that's something that I hope can translate to WWE and AEW going forward. But that's something that and that's what kind of drew me into Lucha Underground was the matches are great, but the stories they tell outside the ring are just as compelling.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Bryant. Do you know around what episode they started the Pentagon looking for his master?
It's right around I want to say it's like episode 20 is when he starts going for it. He doesn't even debut really until I believe it's episode 6 or 7. And he's just kind of like a mid-card enhancement guy at that point when he comes in. He's not even really a focal point in the show.
So it's a solid 15 weeks of development, and then a 15 or like 20-week storyline of him
Yes.
like getting his master. Like I think that's fantastic storyline development.
Good booking.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Amy also
Someone
wants to know who's going to Waterloo.
James.
All
To
right,
be
cool.
determined.
Right. Yeah.
All
I know
right.
Brian is.
Yeah.
James and Bryant. Yeah. Shout out.
She is excited. She said it looks like jammed packed with excitement, she wrote.
Got to be
And
there for
finally-
T-Tone.
She also wants to know who's going to be the first to visit James in California.
Nobody is going to be
Shout
that
out
answer.
Adam. He's probably
I'll say
doing a show
Portland.
out there. He's probably refereeing something. You know what I mean? Eventually. Maybe a SmackDown.
Probably Matt M. If they do some fucking AEW pay-per-view, Matt M will be like, hey, bro, you know, I'll just say, me and Yellow Shirt guy are here, you know, go hang out.
That's fun. We want to thank everyone for the questions. Thank you very much. And back to you, James.
Actually, James, we have one more listener question.
Uh-oh.
Friend of the show, Bryant Haremza has a question. It's kind of a food related question. I saw this and I immediately thought of you guys as something that I think would be interesting. I'd like you guys to pick 3 cereals. And I even found this to include pictures to help our fans watching us on Premier's YouTube channel. But I'd like you guys to just tell me your favorite cereals. Which are you picking out of this group here?
I saw this on Facebook the other day. Easy. A, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. G, Fruity Pebbles. I think those are 1A and 1B and the greatest cereals. Fucking love them. And then I'm going to throw everybody for a loop here. I love the frosted shredded mini wheats. Love that cereal. It's rough as fuck. And, you know, but hey, whatever. But speaking of rough as fuck, shout out to Cap'n Crunch, which is like, hey, fuck the roof of your mouth. But yeah. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruity Pebbles are the greatest cereal of all time.
So I'm going to go with the 3 that I'm eating right now. Not currently right now, but in my house that I'm eating. I eat Cookie Crisp, I eat Rice Krispies, and I eat Raisin Bran right now.
I thought
Shout
yours
out
would be
Raisin
like
Bran.
Total and fucking, you know, some shit.
I'm not that old. I'm very, very immature.
All right, I'm going with Frosted Flakes, Reese's Puff, and Cookie Crisp. My 3.
There are 2 of you left.
So Cocoa Puffs, Reese's Puffs, Apple Jacks, and Cookie
No,
Crisp.
no, 3.
You only have 3, buddy.
Oh, I got 4, 1 for every row.
Now, if we would change the Fruity Pebbles to Dino Bites, I'd be all right with that.
You fucking shut your whore mouth. You
What
changed
the hell is Dino Bites?
Dino Bites is the generic version of Fruity Pebbles.
Generic,
Thank
and
you,
My,
okay.
and my daughter much rather that one than the Fruity Pebbles.
Is that
and
the Malto meal brand comes in the big bag?
the
We
big
have
bag?
covered this in the archives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can buy a big bag for what you can buy a small box of Fruity Pebbles. I'm down for it.
And if you're substituting, I would go with the Honey Nut Cheerios. But
Oh,
hey.
Apple Jacks isn't on there, is it? Neither is
Yeah,
like
okay.
kids.
All right, so my 3 are Captain Crunch, Reese's Puffs, and Frosted Flakes. Same with Brad. I have those in my pantry right now. So,
Pebbles, Puffs,
You already
and
went.
I know, but I didn't read the rules.
You
And
know, that's
Cookie
good
Crisp.
though. If you take Cocoa Puffs and Fruity Pebbles and mix them, that's pretty good too. I'm down for that.
Pebbles
Sounds
and
like a-
Reese's
Sounds
Puffs.
like a
and mix
late
them.
night after a bong.
I heard that. Eating Fruity Pebbles
Oh.
fucking with no milk. Just, oh man, it's so good. How
Those
do they
Reese's
do
Puffs
this?
with no milk
God,
are
this is good.
All right. I guess we're done.
Fantastic. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Back to you, James.
Hell yeah. Well, speaking of eating,
Oh.
let's just keep on eating because we got Mike's B minute. So, Mike, let's you know, punish Brad a little bit more with some food talk. So,
All right.
what you got?
Well,
Seriously,
since
right before this.
we did a little bit of Lucha Underground stuff. About a bit of Lucha El Queso Salsa Chicken and Rice.
Oh my God.
Come
I'm
on now.
so hungry.
All right. So once you get some bonus skinless chicken breast, you gotta slice and dice that motherfucker.
Poyo.
Do some chops on that one. Get that stuff, add a pack of taco seasoning to it, and put it off to the side. Then in your little lasagna pan, you need to put in 1 cup of Spanish rice. You need 2.5 cups of chicken broth. You put the chicken in there. Then you put 16 ounces of chunky salsa. Mix it up real good. And you cook it at 375 for about 45 minutes. Wait until that, when the rice is done, the chicken's perfect, right around 45, 50 minutes. Bring that out, add some of your melted queso cheese dip. Pour it all over it. Mix it up a little bit. Then you add those nacho chips. Fucking spot on.
I'm eating Taco Bell when I'm done. I'm going. I'm driving there.
And
I'm not paying $40 for the DoorDash.
Boy, it's something.
Mm-hmm. And that is what we have for Mike's Meatman.
God damn, that was like 35
29
seconds.
seconds, right?
It only takes about 50 minutes and a half to make. All you gotta do is slice and dice that chicken, throw everything together. It's good to go.
Sounds delicious, Mike.
Using that paste salsa or using that stuff from New York City?
You gotta use the good chunky.
That's funny. I like
Look,
that.
I had to get my shit in.
Well, you can make your own. I'll be doing that here.
I made my salsa last weekend for Memorial Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some in a couple weeks. I got my tomatoes growing, my peppers are growing.
Yeah, me too.
So there we go.
Anyway.
There you have it.
Fuck yeah, sounds good.
Back to you, James.
Well, appreciate it, Mike. Shit sounds good. Can't wait to see that on Twitter this week.
Yeah, I won't be.
But hey, I mean, it's famous, but it's famous for you.
So, all right. So, Lucha Underground is popular in the wrestling community, I guess, but it was new to us. But it is like as people that do guys that do a wrestling podcast, you think we're going to know everything there is to know about wrestling, but it's unrealistic. And as much as we do know, there's always more to know, right? So we're learning as we go. But one thing for sure is there's
probably hired Bryant.
There's a lot of popular things out there
he needs to know.
that a lot of popular things out there that maybe you don't know. So I'm going to name 4 bands. They're very popular bands. You should know the songs on these bands, but I'm going to name 4 of them, and I'm willing to bet that there's one band out of these 4 that you guys don't even know maybe 1 or 2 songs. Which band is that is not popular with you, but is popular with the world? So we're going to go with Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Bruce Springsteen and E Street Band, and Grateful Dead. Devyn, which one do you not are familiar with?
Bruce Springsteen.
You're in the Northeast.
I don't know. My dad was a rock and roll cover band singer, so I listened to a lot of the other ones, but not a lot of Bruce Springsteen. I know, like Born in the USA, I think, but other than that, I don't think I can name another one.
I'm with you, man. Go ahead, Mike. Do you have one?
I'm down with Devyn. I say the same thing, but I'm from the South, so.
Adam?
Give them to me one more time.
Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Bruce Springsteen, Grateful Dead.
See, I don't know very many from Grateful Dead, so out of them 4, I wasn't a big Grateful Dead.
Fair, very fair. I mean, remember, these are they had a cult following, they sold out every show, but you don't know any songs. It's funny how something can be so popular and you not know about it. James.
Just not a real big fan of Bruce Springsteen. I mean, nothing against him, but those other 3 bands, I like them a lot. Obviously, Led Zeppelin, I got a thing, little poster deal, like right there. I have the Led Zeppelin symbols tattooed on my fucking leg. Like Led Zeppelin, like the Grateful Dead, Rolling Stones. I kind of hated the Rolling Stones there for a while. And then when I actually started listening to them, I'm like, hot damn, these are cool. And Miss You, the song Miss You by Rolling Stones, one of my karaoke classics. Love that song. Yeah, I definitely guess Bruce Springsteen. Shout out to Northeast. Give a fuck less about Bruce Springsteen, but that's just me.
So I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan as well. Houses of the Holy, Physical Graffiti. I'm into all of it. All right, 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying.
I'm telling you now, the sweetest thing you ever can do now. Friends.
Bruce Springsteen as a Northeast guy, Asbury Park kind of, I do like Bruce Springsteen. Grateful Dead, that's just a good time. Am I right? But
Yeah.
finally, never really got into Rolling Stones. No, I only know a couple songs really, and I'll never put it on. So I'm not a Rolling Stones guy, and as unpopular as that may be.
I like Shakedown Street from Grateful Dead. It's one of their underrated songs. People don't really realize them when they talk about their hits. But man, listen to Shakedown Street. That song is fucking awesome.
So now we're going to go with 4 movies. These are very, very popular movies. Top 10 movies ever. Which one haven't you seen?
All
Titanic.
4, probably.
Titanic, Avatar, Star Wars, The New Hope. So that's the first one that came out. Or the original Avengers movie. Devyn, have you seen all 4 or have you seen none of them?
I'm pretty sure I've seen all 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Try really, really hard here.
All right, give me what was number 1 and 2 again?
Titanic. You seen that?
Definitely watched that with my mom.
Avatar?
With the blue guys or
Yeah.
the
Blue guy.
I've seen both of them. With the blue guys and the remake of the cartoon. So
Star Wars, the first one, The New Hope.
I've seen every Star Wars that you can name, and currently watching the Clone Wars. So
And how about the Avengers, the first Avengers when they were all together for the first time?
yeah, I've seen every Avengers. So I'm a movie nerd. I love movies. Sorry.
Okay, so let's
Move
take
on.
it further
Change
with
my answer.
what movie is very popular that you have on your bucket list to see but haven't seen yet then?
So there's like 1,000 horror movies that I would love to watch, but my wife doesn't like horror movies, so I don't watch horror movies like ever.
So when
But-
you say horror movies, you mean like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Friday the 13th?
No, like I've watched classics. Say anything made since like 2015 on. Since me and Erica have been like
How about E.T.?
living
Have you seen
together.
E.T.?
Like
Have you seen E.T.?
oh yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm out on you.
With baby
All
Drew
right,
Barrymore.
Mike.
I'm going with Star Wars.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm a
I've seen
movie
that one.
nerd.
You've never seen the Star Wars?
Nope, not the first one. I didn't really get Williams was into it a little bit here and there, but we never really got too much into it until like Mandalorian and all that stuff started coming out.
Gotcha.
So then that's when we started watching it and kind of paying attention.
James? I don't see Adam, so he left.
Well, haven't really gave a fuck to ever see Avatar. I mean, I've seen Pocahontas, so that's kind of the same type of thing, I guess. But yeah, it would be Avatar because I like Star Wars. Granted, A New Hope, it's good, but Return of the Jedi is fucking dope. Let's see, the Avengers when they teamed up together for the first time, like it was cool, and it's just hard to keep up with Marvel when they have like 45 fucking movies and all this stuff.
So you never saw Avatar?
No.
Okay, that's the answer.
Yeah, fuck Avatar. But I did see Pocahontas, so it's kind of the same thing.
No, how is it the same thing? You got
Look
a
it
guy
up.
going.
We're not breaking
not.
this down. Look it up. But Titanic saw it in the theaters and nudity in the theaters. Like, hey, I was like 11. But that was a long fucking movie. I remember they had an intermission. And you remember on VHS it was 2 tapes?
Or 2 tapes.
That's what I watched with my mom on. Was 2 VHS tapes.
Can you draw me like your other girls or whatever? Funny stuff.
Well, I'm out on Avatar. Not interested.
That Lonesome Dove movie I sent you guys a picture of, that right there had like 9 tapes on that one.
Shout out Bret Hart. All right, so finally, again, like we're wrestling guys, right?
Yeah, some of us.
So we've seen all the great matches, haven't we? Or is there a great match out there we haven't seen? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name 4 great matches. And if you've seen all 4, then tell me one you haven't seen that you should see. So the matches I have here, and I have not seen one of these, just so you know. And it is going to shock the world. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 26. Hogan versus Andre, WrestleMania 3. Austin versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. Or the first Royal Rumble. Devyn, have you seen all 4?
I've never seen the first Royal Rumble.
Well,
I've
that
seen the
one's for you,
stipulation
asshole.
growing up. I've seen the stipulation, seeing that it was not meant that the winner won the number 1 contendership at the WrestleMania. So I never checked it out. But shout out to Hacksaw.
Shout
That
out to
didn't happen to like
Did we
the
not cover that
5th
match?
one.
We have not covered the first one. We decided to cover another one instead from 1994.
We did the women's one
think it was a
though.
poll.
You know, we
That's
had
right.
all the, you know.
I got those two stuff.
We talked about it though. We had a vote on Twitter and it didn't win. We were
Okay.
trying,
We did have the
but
women's
I
one.
believe
The women's
Bryant,
was fun.
I believe Bryant cheated to get
I
his
think
match
so.
out there.
He has a bunch of different Twitter things he goes and goes
Yeah,
to.
he did some stuff. It's
That's how we get
it's
so many
out there.
views.
He's already gone to prison for it.
Yeah.
So Mike, what about you? You need him? You need him again?
The Hogan Andre. I have not watched the whole match of that one.
What?
Damn, bro, you want to talk about? That's what wrestling is
I've watched the
today.
clips and everything of it, but I've not watched the whole match.
Wow, it's like
Dang.
3 minutes long.
That's
No,
the reason
man.
wrestling is what it is today, is because of that match.
This is
That's
why I
nuts.
asked the questions. This is why you asked the questions.
Now,
James,
remember, I wasn't big until '96 either.
I know, but just since then, just in general. Wow.
But I've never really been a big Hogan fan. Like not the Hulkamania Hogan fan. It's never got me.
Wow. Well, that was a shocker, huh? James, what
Well,
about
that's
you?
what I thought of. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Didn't mean to.
That's okay. That's you want to
Yeah,
talk.
no,
That's loud.
What one match that when you were saying, you're like saying, if you've seen all these, think of one match you've never seen. First thing that came to mind was Hogan versus Iron Sheik, where he wins the title. I've never seen that match, so that was the first one that came to my mind.
Not quite as mainstream because I think it was on a weirder. It wasn't like
on
a.
a Madison Square Garden like house
Yeah.
show thing.
But yeah, I agree with that. That's one you should see if you haven't, because it's changed. That one really changed the world to me. But what do you got, James?
I have never seen the first Royal Rumble. And
You've seen all-
the stipulation thing, to talk to, to reply to Devyn, the stipulation I don't think started till like 92 or 93 or something.
Yeah,
About whoever wins it, goes on to face the champ.
You guys, I know what we did, or what I did. Didn't Jim Duggan do a watch along for the first Royal Rumble?
yeah.
I think
That's
he
where I
did.
seen it. So that's what I'm saying. That was the first time I seen it. That was the only time I seen it, but it was during that watch along.
Ah, that's true.
I knew I seen it. And you
Shout out ad free shows.
The hell of a bathroom break from Adam, huh?
Maybe I had poop.
Maybe he had the Mexican.
Anyway.
This one's gonna really surprise everyone here. I have never seen the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 26.
Man.
What?
I knew that's why you put that one in there too.
I figured. Was that the one where Shawn Michaels came from the heavens and
This
Yeah,
this might get me kicked off the show.
Is that the
Like, 'cause-
second one? That's the second
26
one, right?
is the
'Cause-
second one. It's the retirement match. Yeah.
it's the retirement match? Holy shit, Brad.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of Triple H, but
Please get
watching
in your
like
application to be a host of the Kickout Crew too.
right, I like how he is the host, but I like those 4 in a row, like Shawn Michaels Taker, was it Triple H Taker,
Yeah.
Taker, something like that.
Mhm.
Those 4 matches, hot
got
damn, those are
into
good.
it. I got back into wrestling in 2012, and I believe that was Triple H versus Taker in that one. So
Yeah.
I took a little time off, and I just never went back. And I've been talking about it for 2 years here, like I know what I'm talking about.
Hell, I
but
didn't watch for 15 years, and I've seen all 4 of those. I don't even like Triple H, and I'll see those
So-
matches.
I thought maybe this would be a fun game that maybe not next week, but like watch some of these matches that we've already should have seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so next week is Rumble 92 and Shawn Michaels versus Taker.
No, first
So,
Rumble,
yeah.
the TV, whatever.
I definitely outed myself here. So
WrestleMania 3.
I guess Adam's I don't know what stage of the bathroom he's in right now, but back to you, James.
Hell yeah, I like it. That was a good one. Famous, but maybe not famous for us. Good shit right there. The one title that makes sense on the outline.
Yeah, I
Fucking-
write it.
But you know what else makes sense? Devyn's demographics. So Devyn, a lot of watching and a lot of talking about watching stuff this whole episode. But what you got on the demographic this week?
Yeah, so first off, I'm going to knock off 2 of my check marks here because we've talked about them already on this show today, because you're right. There's been a lot of talking about what we've watched. On NXT, Ethan freaking Page showed up and just tore up Trick Williams and said on the mic, well, I guess I whooped that trick. And I love that. That was great.
That was awesome.
And shout out to the TNA Knockouts champion, Jordan Grace, for being the one to challenge Roxanne Perez And if you know wrestling, you know those two had a little feud back in Impact back in the day over that Knockouts Women's title. So
Hey, and
actually,
Jordan
is
Grace
Jordan
has
Grace's.
Oh, good.
No, yeah. Continue, James.
Oh, well, they put Jordan Grace like as like a representative of TNA on WWE TV. What, at least twice now? So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
And-
Like,
And I believe they're going to do NXT going to TNA. They're going to do some. I think they're going to do some more crossover. So that right there may have me watching a little bit more TNA.
sounds like a
Give it more
Survivor
potential to
Series
watch it.
war games type of shit going on
That's
there.
what I'm saying. I'm
Very,
telling you,
very interesting. Very interesting.
I think they can play it out really, really, really good. The way
Yeah.
they're
I
gonna be smart
absolutely
about it.
hope so.
They're not going to be
Have-
like, oh, it's a fit and bid door. Everybody come and do whatever.
Have AJ Styles represent WWE and have
Oh, that
Ziggler
would be
represent
sick.
TNA. Talk about it like a
I seen one
flip-flop.
online. I seen on X they're putting a comparison between Speedball Mike Bailey and a young AJ Styles. So I think those two could kind of be a maybe
And isn't-
dream match.
I'm
There's
just
a lot of
Dolph-
dream matches.
I'm just
Dolph
excited.
Ziggler's over there too, right?
Yeah, Ziggler's there.
Yeah, Ziggler's there.
They're
Zach
really good.
Wentz used to be in NXT
Moose.
with Wesley.
God,
I'm telling you. I think
Moose and Dolph Ziggler talking crap. Yeah, the NXT and TNA crossover. Man, that
I
Forbidden
really hope
Door
they do
might
it
be a
right.
little better than whatever Forbidden Door we're getting.
Yeah, I really hope they do it right.
So we knocked off those two on my demographic. The next one, we have a couple AEW departures. They've all been announced that they've all left the company, and I would love to see them somewhere else down the road somewhere. Mark Henry, who's one of the hosts of Busted Open every single day on Sirius XM, who, he was famous for his line on AEW Rampage. I could see him being on WWE for sure, being a backstage help or something.
Yeah, I think
Who's
he's
gonna
Another
say?
one?
Who's gonna say it's time for the main event?
They've cut that out a long time ago, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they got to the point where he just said it like he was taped saying it.
Yeah.
It was so bad what they did to that.
Do you think
It
he
really
can?
was.
Now you guys listen, Busted Open. Has he said anything? Like, is he done in the ring work, or
I haven't heard anything. I'm a little
do you think
behind.
he'll come back and maybe have one more little run with something?
He said he's wrestled in every decade and he would like to wrestle in this decade. That was a long time ago that he said that, though. I think he assumed he was going to wrestle on AEW and it just didn't happen.
Hell,
Yeah,
Big
I
Show
mean-
did. I mean, fuck.
I remember the same exact thing as Brad. When he signed his contract, he said that quote, that he's
Yeah.
wrestling every decade. He'd love to wrestle in this one.
Yeah, I thought
But
that was
he
Have him come back for one
he
more
never
match?
appeared in a match in AEW.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, even if it's something, just one match, one time. I can see it.
I bet
Maybe
he
he's one of those
follows-
guys backstage waiting for the Battle Royal.
There you go.
I
Let's
think
go
his
back to
son's
it.
going to Oklahoma, and I think he's going to like help him out with his wrestling stuff. So I think that's what it is.
I'm 100% with you, Adam. His son is one of the top wrestling prospects out there, and I think he's gonna do whatever he can to make sure that his son is set down the right path and getting the right opportunities.
If he wanted to
ahead of
make
him.
sure he
Dude,
set down the right
he's-
path, don't go to OU. Fuck
You-
the Sooners.
You sign my son, I'll appear on your TV, WWE.
I mean, dude is a beast, man. He's insanely big.
Dude, his son is like, because like I've seen his son, like he is fucking massive, and that I like
Yeah.
that kid's like 18, and he's just like, boom, like a shit brick ass. I wish he would have gone to Oklahoma State, maybe. Shout out Go Pokes, but anywhere but OU, man.
All right, so my second departure from AEW is Arn Anderson. And recently in an interview with Busted Open, which I just talked about, Cody Rhodes was in that, and he said in that that interview that he had on SmackDown where the contract signing where Logan Paul was on the other side and he was on one side of the ring, he really felt a little, I don't know, he didn't say this word, but he felt jealous by the sounds of it that Logan Paul was surrounded by people and he had no one on his side. So now that Arn Anderson is a free agent, I can definitely see them two linking back up in WWE.
I think
I don't
Armin's
see. I don't
going
see
for
Arn
Brock.
going back
Though.
to WWE. I think he's gonna be with Brock. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The
For his
way
career.
the beginning of his podcast talked, I don't know if he's WWE bound. Which, granted, things have changed since then. But from what I understand, and shout out Palmwater, I think he's going to focus on like trying to help Brock out.
So much like Mark Henry helping his son.
Yep.
Mhm.
And my third and final departure from AEW this week is Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger in WWE. It's been announced that his contract is formally terminated. Well, it's not. It's his contract has run up. Sorry, I don't want to say the wrong thing. His contract has run up, and he will not be re-signed to AEW. So I'm not sure if he's going back to MMA. He's currently 5-0 in there, or if he's what's next for him?
I heard he was gonna be a hat salesman.
Yeah, definitely something. I don't know about going back to WWE with him. I think his promos always hurt him. You know, he always had that one this, and I think kind of. But Vince McMahon's not there no more, so you know things could change.
I don't know.
He had good ring work. I think he did good in that. I think just the way they put him on those promos kind of hurt him.
And speaking of promos, we forgot to mention this with Arn, the fucking Glock thing. God, that was good.
So good.
Oh, definitely.
I can
Well,
see.
I agree with you,
WWE for a one-off.
I feel like the best part of Jake Hager's career, despite him being a heavyweight champion as Jack Swagger, like after he won the Money in the Bank, I feel like the best part of his career was when he was with Zeb Coulter and was like winning the U.S. Championship and tag team with
Real
Cesaro.
Americans?
Somebody, yeah. If they put him with somebody, that'll be
Dutch.
fine.
Yeah. So that's my AW departures this week. My final demographic this week. I just want to give a shout out to that match with Mercedes Moné winning the title against Willow Nightingale. I personally think that was my match of the night on Double or Nothing. I wasn't too fond of the main event, even though it was absolutely insane. I think those two women tore it up and put on the match of the night. And for my final demographic, on last week's AEW Dynamite, Mercedes Moné was confronted by NJPW Strong Women's Champion Stephanie Vacuur, where I definitely think that those two are going to put on a banger if that is the upcoming matchup for Forbidden Door. If you watch that AEW post conference on the pay-per-view post conference, I forgot the name of the pay-per-view already. But so if you watch that post conference, Mercedes Moné said she was open to facing whoever the best contender was from both NJPW and CMLL. So I think that Stephanie Vacuur might be that best contender, and it could be a hell of a match.
When do we have it?
I like how in her post thing, because remember that one interview she did on somebody's like podcast. She's like, "Oh, I'll end up back in WWE." Blah blah blah. And then at this post media scrum thing, she was, "Oh, the best wrestler in AEW." Da, da, da. I'm like, that's a paid line, you know.
Yeah. Oh wait, I honestly feel like whoever's paying these guys the most money, that's what they're gonna say.
Oh,
they're all human.
It's all about
too.
money, not a damn thing funny. Got to have a con in this land of milk and honey. Shout out the message.
Shout out whatever con you pick. It's either Tony or Nick. But
Boom.
hey, that was my Devyn's demographic. Back to you, James.
I like it. Good stuff. And you know what else is good stuff? Next week. So what is next week?
Bryant?
But right now, we need to focus on you.
Bryant?
Oh God, sorry. Yeah, so that's me. So next week is Drew McIntyre's birthday. So it was brought up to cover a Drew McIntyre match. And I thought, since a lot of his best work has been happening recently, and then, you know, his title run was pandemic era. So really don't want to try to relive any of that pandemic stuff if we don't have to. I thought I'd go to another crowning moment of Drew's career. So we will be going to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, where it was Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship.
Nice.
And we'll just be covering one match next week.
I love it. Great idea,
So-
Bryant.
You don't want to go back to the pandemic era where fucking zombies came out and ate the Miz?
I mean,
I thought
they
about
wanna
picking.
cover
I
Drew
thought about picking a
Galloway?
Randy Orton match that he had from the pandemic, but I'm like, it's still just like it's good, but like that crowd is what makes it. So I
was just talking shit. I can't believe we covered that. I can't believe we covered that fucking aliens eat the Miz match or zombies, whatever.
Fun, man.
Yeah, can't wait. Big fan of Drew, and it's crazy to see when he first came in, he was like the chosen one or whatever, and then now that he's back, he looks like a completely different dude. And the current look he has looks like he could fuck up you and about 20 other people without breaking a sweat. He's a big old boy. Yeah, can't wait to cover Drew. So that's fun stuff for next week. And anybody got anything else?
I think we're ready to bring it home, James.
Bring it on home. Cool Zeppelin song. But yeah. Thank everybody for joining us. Want to give a shout out to the crew here. Glad we could attend, and shout out to Bryant for the Lucha Underground matches. Pretty cool stuff. I think Adam pretty much swayed us all into being like, hey, probably give this a chance. It may be worth our while. So want to give a shout out to that. Want to thank everybody for joining us, and it is a Lucha Underground, but isn't Lucha known for high flying? And I hope, this current week and weeks forward, we all high fly, because we're not meant for the underground. We're meant to soar, baby. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you get to soar is when life gets you down, you kick at it too. That's what we do. That's what you do on your show, The Kickout Crew. And that's all for us. And hey, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
yeet.